Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to Lawsplaining the Interwebs. I am your host, Nick Rekieta of Rekieta Law, a small law firm in central Minnesota. And with me today is my Ninja Q.
What up, what up, what up? Man, it is good to be back. Good to be back. I'm glad that you are in good health, my friend.
Me too. And I am glad that you seem to be alive as well. How are you faring in the age of Corona-chan, the Chinese killer?
Yeah.
The man from Taipei or whatever. No, that's not China. Is it? I don't even know.
I'm not sure. It's too early, but I'm good, man. We black people are actually immune to this. So yeah, that African blood. Yeah, it dies hard.
Oh, damn,
Ebola was our coronavirus.
Right.
This is all y'all.
Oh, okay. That's not so bad. See?
Yeah. Okay. So I gotta ask you. So okay. So it occurred to me today that there are a group of people out there that are coronavirus deniers.
Okay.
Kind of like the climate change deniers.
So they believe that coronavirus isn't a thing that exists.
Yeah, it's just like this government conspiracy thing, and essentially the government is creating this whole frenzy. No one's really dying, but the government's trying to take our eye off the ball. So
okay.
Yeah. So So I look at these people similar to the way I assumed that a lot of people looked at me, with my issues with vaccinations.
Sure.
Right. So you have a group of people that are looking at you kind of like, are you nuts? I'm looking at the deniers of the coronavirus like, are you nuts?
Well, I don't know anybody who's died from it, so it must not exist. I mean, this is true, right? Like, you haven't hit me at home yet. I don't know what you are. I don't believe it.
I mean, I'm constantly seeing these posts on Facebook. Do you know anyone personally that's ever died of the coronavirus? Do you know anyone personally? Not someone you heard about, but do you know someone personally that has died of the coronavirus?
Look, well, I don't know if I know anyone personally who's gotten a massage with a happy ending either, but I'm pretty convinced those exist somewhere.
Somewhere out there, someone has gotten a good massage. So
a wholesome, hearty massage.
A wholesome, hearty massage.
What do you got in the glass tonight, man?
Man, I don't even want to tell you.
Is it Jack Daniels?
God, no. Ooh, I am a Southern man of culture.
Okay, I was gonna say.
Sir. No, man. It's some Old English.
Some Old English?
Old English. It's an OE40. Just poured in a fancy glass.
Oh, okay. I've never had that.
No, it is Spyburn.
Oh, okay. Spayburn.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever had that either.
Well, it's actually not bad.
No.
I enjoy it. It's a Highland, though, and you're more of an Islay guy, so.
Well, I mean, I like just about everything, but I really like Islay. Man, I suffered through a bottle of America bourbon. I'll drink the gas out the truck. It doesn't matter.
Oh my gosh, man! That peanut butter whiskey that Soda was talking about.
Not even once. Not even once.
Yeah. Ooh.
I did some essential travel today, and I picked up this.
That is essential.
Calumet Farm, Kentucky, small batch bourbon. I don't know how this is. I've never had this, but the bottle is wide. This
Rebel Yell?
No. Is that any good?
It's pretty outstanding.
Okay.
It's pretty outstanding.
I'm going to try this bourbon real quick. This is new to me. I was going to buy a bottle of Lagavulin today.
No?
Some good Islay, and I was at the Walmart liquor store, which had one bottle of Lagavulin left. But then I saw this and I was like, I've never had that. That bottle is thick. And I had to pick it up.
Yeah, and first thoughts, let it breathe.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is okay.
Really? So that's that is the finest Walmart whiskey
No, this
money can
is
buy.
well, this is kind of expensive for, well, not really expensive for a bourbon, but for just like a bourbon I've never heard of, it's about $50. You know?
Okay.
It's not a cheap bourbon. It's really good. It's got a nice bourbon flavor to it. You know what I'm talking about? The bourbon taste.
Yeah, kind of like that caramelized
Corn.
Yeah.
Yeah,
caramelized corn. As y'all would say up here, caramel corn.
Caramel corn. No, not that. That stuff is trash. I hate caramel corn with a passion. I would commit hate crimes against caramel corn if I could. Government won't let me.
Oh man, you're on the wrong side of the law. You're on the wrong side of the law.
If I put on the uniform, I can hit caramel corn all day. We're watching The Wire, man. It's ruining me. I'm not doing okay. Today we met Clay Davis. Lady Raggeds doesn't know anything about it, but he came on the screen. I just went, shit.
Hey, so okay, so the one thing that has come out of this whole thing that I'm going to have to, it's going to affect me the rest of my life. None of us are coming out of this whole situation unscathed, Nick. I'm having way too much time to pick up on Netflix.
Yeah.
And so, have you watched this show, the Tiger King?
My mom messages me out of the blue yesterday. Says, "Hey, have you watched Tiger King?" No. What are you talking? Is this an anime? Like, what is this poorly named show? Oh. And she's like, it's about this killer, such and such, some like guy in Central America or something, South America. I don't know.
No, this dude's like in Oklahoma.
Well, okay. What was his name? What's his name though?
His name was Joe Exotic. Joe Exotic.
What's his real name?
Who the hell knows? He's the Tiger King, damn it.
My mom, okay, hold on. I'm going to find this message because I was like, that name sounded like some cartel dude.
It's like, is it an anime? So your mom put you on Tiger King knowledge, right?
Something about it. Here we go. Or maybe I just Googled it.
Oh. So your mom put you down on the T King knowledge, huh?
I mean, she just asked if I've seen it. Tiger King. What happens when I Google this?
You see a gay dude with a mullet that loves his Second Amendment rights. I mean, so
what did I see the other day? I'm like, this is not at all what I'm thinking it was. I saw something. Okay, when I Googled Tiger King the other day, there was some dude with like a very, very Latino name. And I'm like, oh, this must be a guy who buries people in central Mexico, right? Like the Angel of Death, you know, that serial killer guy. I know nothing about this show. I want to watch it so much less now.
Oh, God. It's okay. So let me give it to you all in a really nice bow and put a bow on it, right? So there's these little tiger syndicates around the South. These people who raise tigers, breed tigers.
True story. I know someone who has one.
Oh, okay.
I know a real one.
Like a real tiger?
Like, not a tiger. They own a tiger plantation where like the tigers till cotton and stuff. They use a cotton gin. All that. Not really. But no, they actually have like a whole herd of tigers.
A whole herd of tigers.
They have a bunch of them. They're like special needs tigers.
The tigers with Down syndrome?
I'm not joking. You think this is a joke because that sounds funny, but it's true.
I mean, you know.
They got all sorts of, they're like a tiger rescue.
Oh, okay. So they're not in Florida, are they?
No.
Because if her name is Carol Baskins, fuck her. Okay.
No, it's not that one. I won't dox them, but I know someone who runs a tiger rescue, and they, they're like on the Guide Star charity thing, and they're not rated very well. and they have a bunch of tigers. I went over to their house one day, and they had 2 new young tigers just sitting in like kennels, like dogs, and because they got dropped off there at their house, and they were supposed to go to the reserve. And they're like, the fucking huge cats just sitting in the house.
So the thing that effed me up the worst from watching this thing, right, is that I realized that I have fucked my life up. I realized, completely. I could have all this time owned my very own tiger for $2,500.
That's it?
For $2,500. $5,000 if I want one of those like white ones, right?
What if you want the Down syndrome tiger? Is that like $1,000? Because he's harder to take care of in the long term, I would think.
I mean, I suppose maybe they'll give you one of those, like maybe just so they find good homes for them.
I'll ask them.
It's like probably like a $40 like rehoming fee or something.
The one I know, I think they have one of Michael Jackson's tigers.
Oh, that tiger's seen some things.
That tiger's seen some stuff. They probably get a government stipend if it talks.
That tiger's seen some things, man.
They're showing it pictures of penises, and it picks out Michael Jackson's with its paw.
I mean, you got to think about this, though, man. Think about it. Think of all the things over your lifetime where you've wasted $2,500.
Yeah.
I mean, I've spent $2,500 on some things that I can't even remember now. Like just you spend the money just because. I mean, whatever.
I've never spent $2,500 in my life. My entire life has cost less than $2,500.
Okay, fair enough.
I got everything at the flea market. I got this house at a flea market. I got my kids at a flea market.
Yeah,
they're real cheap.
You got $2,500 worth of whiskey behind you. So, but think about it. $2,500, you could have had your very own tiger. I mean, do you realize the clout you immediately get when you own your own tiger?
Yeah, that's what Tony Montana had. He had a tiger.
Ooh, yeah, that's true. That's true. So it's there you go. Now it's proven. Tony Montana did it. We should all do it.
Yeah, we should all have tigers. It worked out well for him.
Actually, what is it? Mike Tyson? Mike Tyson has one too.
Still has him.
Yeah. Oh well.
Is that his sparring partner?
I can't. I'm not sure. The only reason. Okay, so the only reason why I knew that Mike Tyson had a tiger was because of that stupid movie. They made 3 of them.
Hot Tub Time Machine. Oh, The Hangover.
Hangover. Yeah. Yeah, they went in and they stole Tyson's tiger. And I'm like, Tyson doesn't have a tiger. So I Googled it. Yeah, Tyson actually does have a tiger. So
I was going to buy a tiger. And then I watched.
You thought about it?
Yeah, I thought about it very sincerely. And then I watched a show where a tiger ate a guy's arm off. And it was not a fake show. It was a real show.
It was a real show.
It was a real. He had like an act where the tiger would like do tricks at a place, right?
Yeah.
And they had this problem where they just didn't feed the tiger for a couple days and thought that would be fine. So it's doing the show, and there's a part in the show where it like, he'd get down on his hands and knees, and the tiger would like put his paws on the guy's back and like do a Pride Rock looking thing. And it goes up there, and then it just goes, ha! He just shoves down on his shoulder and just sits there and chews through it. And they're like, what do we even do? And he gets the arm off, and they get the guy separated from the tiger, and he lived. But I don't think he was happy. You should have fed that guy.
I mean, I every once in a while, the dogs might only get fed
Someone
once a day.
said this happened on Tiger King.
I was going to say something, but I thought, well, I don't want to spoil it for you. So maybe you like watch Tiger King already subconsciously, and
No, this was years ago on like When Animals Attack. Okay, y'all may be too young to remember this, but I was a spry young pup working at Circuit City. So this would have been 20 years ago.
Come to Circuit City, where service is state of the art.
That's right. Exactly. Actually, this is probably 21 to 22 years ago now that I think about it, because it was early on at Circuit City. And I'm strolling through the TV department. And we used to have these things called shows, like sitcoms and other stuff. And then something happened. And Fox put out a couple shows called When Animals Attack and When Disaster Strikes. And we have birthed into existence reality TV. And those first couple were awesome. Because When Animals Attack was great. I saw a drunk guy put on football pads, spray deer urine all over himself, and go out to box a deer. And he got his ass whooped. It was great. I loved early reality TV because no one knew what they were doing, and they didn't know that if they just scripted it, no one would know it was all fake anyway. Right. And so they did that, and that's what I remember. That I was like, this is the greatest TV ever. And when Disaster Strikes like Part 2 came on, I'm like, yeah, I want to watch another wedding floor collapse. This is great.
I was enamored with Crocodile Hunter.
Yeah,
incredibly enamored with it. I think everybody was at first.
Right.
And then,
well, they all thought it was Crocodile Dundee, Part 3 or whatever.
Well, all Australians look alike anyway, right?
Yeah. So I agree. They're all the same. Just like all those South American tigers we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, all the South American tigers. Yeah, that's exactly. But I can't lie, man. Yeah, I was pretty disappointed when I realized that. Yeah, I have ruined my life. All I had to do was spend $2,500 on a tiger. Everything else would have changed. So
instead, you're sitting in your underwear watching tigers on Netflix.
Right. Exactly.
Not the same thing.
Yeah. Stuck in a house with an authoritarian regime in the White House. Yeah.
What's funny, we got to talk about that. Okay. So ultimately, we're going to get to the Corona talking about rights and all of this stuff, because we've gotten to. There was this understanding that the world had with me yesterday. That I had an understanding with the rest of the world. You were all in on it. You didn't know. Yesterday, where I'm like just some jackass talking about rights here and there in this Corona thing. Like, yeah, okay. And then thinking that was the end of it. And then today, you call me and tell me about a story. And that story, I'm like, this is flagrantly unconstitutional. Like it is absolutely impossible for them to do this. And then you tell me the next story. And I'm like, come on. You can't do that. And then I get home and Judge Lee Yakel down in Texas, when all other rights are being put to the meat tenderizer, he's like, wait, abortion though. We need to have that. We need to still have abortion. Like, you don't need speech. You don't need assembly. You don't need church. You don't need Jesus. You don't need food, toilet paper. You don't need to go outside. You don't need to go between states. You definitely don't need to go to Rhode Island. Not if you're from New York. We will send a posse. Now, I asked you a very important question on the phone. Do you remember the last time in America where a people group left one state and went to another state, and the new state employed a posse to find those people and send them back? Do you remember that?
I watched the Django Unchained. Absolutely, I remember that.
It's amazing. It's amazing. The fact that they stopped doing that is why Texas joined the Civil War and seceded from the Union.
Yeah.
And now we're just like, well, if black people leave New York, though, we gotta bring them back. It's
Andrew Cuomo's like, I can retrieve my own property.
Actually, Rhode Island, you can retrieve them for me. Let me just send you a description. They're a little darker than you.
Be a sweet little deal, Rhode Island, and fetch me my property. Yeah. No, man. No, think about it. If somebody would have told me this shit like last month, okay, where you can be arrested for going to church.
Yeah.
But if you want to kill your baby, that's essential business.
What are we going to do? What are we going to do if we don't let him kill the baby?
I mean, we got 12. Trump just said we got 200 to 250 to 300,000 people that are going to die with this thing. So, I mean, we wouldn't want people to have babies or anything, right? Like,
Trump needs to come out. Listen, we have a brilliant social security system. It's fantastic. It's marvelous. Never had a better social security anywhere in the world. But if you keep killing them babies, let me tell you what happens to your social security, okay? We need him to drop the knowledge.
I mean, oh man, I'm just shaking my head. I mean, I thought, okay, Nick's being a little over the top, right? A little extra, right? I figured, quarantine won't be so bad, won't be so terrible. You're gonna chill in the house, we'll be all right. I mean, couple weeks vacation. Nick's like, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
You get back to work.
Nick is like, they're gonna have to drag me off, kicking and screaming in chains. This is an assault on my liberty. I'm like, Nick, it's really not that bad. I mean, what's gonna change?
They're gonna keep you out of church. They're gonna send you home. They're gonna haul you in for abortions.
Right? You're like, if I want to send my kids to school, they gotta go to school. Damn it!
You watch out. You watch out. A month from now, they will be mandating the abortions.
Yeah. Hey, are you pregnant? No, there will be no more $500 stimulus checks.
Look, abortions are essential. Births, not so much. You hold it in. You hold it in. You've been on a long car trip. You just hold that in till Papa Government says we're going to pull over for a minute.
Right. Yeah. I mean, because non-essential. I mean, yeah. If you need a gallbladder surgery, I think something tells me you can make it another 20 days. Okay. We got to take care of these corona victims. Oh, wait. You got a fetus you need to get rid of? Oh, front of the line.
Yeah.
I know you're coughing, Grandma. I know you have shortness of breath, and I know you're running 104-degree fever, but this baby right here needs to come out right now.
I know. Yeah, I know someone who was prevented from getting a cancer biopsy to determine if they had a malignant, growth.
Yeah.
Like to see if they would need immediate surgery or radiation therapy before it metastasizes, if that's the right word, into a murder factory, right? And they're like, well, we're going to have to put a hold on that. But if they needed an abortion, if they needed that growth biopsied, that'd be no problem.
Yeah.
And that is the most amazing thing to me. Like, now, do I think they should stop abortions? No, I don't think they should stop any medical procedure. I mean, I think abortion should stop generally, but if the government is going to not stop abortions, they need to just not stop any medical procedures, frankly.
Right.
I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy that this thing, and again, it's all about the context. It's not that they're protecting abortions. It's that is literally the only right now that they care about. Right. And it's a right fabricated by the court in the 60s. It didn't exist. It's not in the Constitution. Maybe that's the problem. Them old racist white guys wrote all the other ones. All those other rights don't matter. But this one was created by the court in the 60s, the just and honorable court headed by Berger. Not to be confused with the other food judge, Frankfurter.
Oh man, no, that's absolutely 100% insane to me.
I don't even know what to do. Like I'm just sitting here like I feel like an idiot.
but you know, the cool thing about it is, I guess black people can be happy. I mean, at least they did address us somewhat in the Constitution, right?
Yeah.
They didn't address fetuses at all. Like,
I don't think they even knew about them.
Yeah, they didn't announce them at all. Like they didn't give them like 3/5 status, anything.
They didn't even give them 1/5 status.
No. If they would at least just brought it up, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. I think fetuses would be safe everywhere.
They weren't as good at math back then, and the fifths was the deepest fraction that they knew. It's like a fetus is a lot smaller than a fifth of a person, right? It's more like a 20th or something. They didn't know that. They didn't math that far.
No, they didn't math that far down.
Like, we can't call this thing 1/5. We can call them 3/5, but we can't call this thing 1/5. That's nowhere near a fifth.
Yeah, I suppose it was a small problem. It was a small problem. They couldn't quite figure it out. But man, it's just amazing to me that what we value, and it's crazy because I look at all this, and if you would have told me that these things were going to take place,
yeah,
that there would not be an uprising unlike anything you've ever seen, there's no way you could have told me that. I would have thought they start arresting pastors for having church service.
Yeah.
But then I think about it this way, and I know I'm about to set off some fireworks. Okay, Okay.
It's like Chinese New Year here.
But if Obama had raided a church and arrested a pastor for violating his order to stay home, would they take it so kindly?
I don't know. Trump didn't do it though, right? It was the governor of Florida.
I get it, but he was also a Republican.
Yeah.
Okay, he was also a Republican. But you have to imagine because we'll get to talking about what the Justice Department was trying to do. We talked about that a little bit. We need to get on that subject. But so that's something that Trump was responsible for. You would agree, right?
I'm not sure what you're talking about.
The habeas corpus situation.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, that's his Justice Department. So I'm sure that unless Bill Barr is out there just all willy-nilly on his own,
Trump until Trump comes out and squashes that request and says, wait, I'm head of the Justice Department, we're not suspending habeas. No, he gets to own it. Who knows if he had any direct influence over it? I'm not trying to lay that at his feet. But I will say that if Microsoft started firing all the black people, the CEO gets the, right? Like you hold the CEO accountable for that policy. And the same thing, Trump is the CEO of the Justice Department. William Barr is his COO. That's how it goes. So he does get to own that a little bit, and that's a mess. I wonder where the status on that is. I wonder. Congress hasn't passed that law yet. I hope
they haven't passed it yet. No.
I hope they're smart enough.
Or maybe they threw it in that massive stimulus bill. Who knows?
Wouldn't even know. It's like 800 pages.
You haven't read through it yet?
Did you read the 800 pages?
No, I didn't even read that it was 800 pages.
What do I look like, a lawyer? I'm not reading that much.
Like a lawyer? What? Heck no.
I want a one-page stimulus. Y'all getting checks. Here they come. Thank you, the end. We got rest of page intentionally left blank.
But it's insane, man. The people don't even get like half of it. Like it's like 650 billion for the people, but it's like
it's like 350 billion.
Even worse.
They can give everybody in the country like $1,200 for 350 billion. I don't buy it. I don't buy it at all.
So just like 2 weeks ago during the Democratic during the debates, I had to listen to these people talk about how majority of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. and how we need to help these struggling families because people are not making it, their student loan debt and all that other stuff.
I know where this is going, I think.
I'm listening to all this and I'm like, okay, so now it's time to bail people out, right? And so when it comes to those people that are living paycheck to paycheck, we'll give you $1,200. But the majority of the stimulus goes
in 4 to 8 weeks, like you ordered it from Columbia House. Please allow 4 to 6 weeks for delivery.
I could order a bong from China tomorrow and it'd be here like sooner than that, right?
Don't use it. Don't use it. This is good. No.
Yeah, I mean, I can get that here that much faster, and 6 to 8 weeks. But then to make matters worse, these evil corporations, okay, they're the ones that get all the money,
all of it.
What the hell? So it's insane. Like, I mean, $2 trillion to the evil people. So, yeah, 4 to 6. And did you really say Columbia House? I'm just now catching on to that.
Look, if they asked Columbia House to distribute the checks, they'd be out way quicker. They've got experience putting a little flyer in everybody's mailbox.
Dude, they can do Publishers Clearinghouse faster.
And McMahon could personally deliver every check faster.
With balloons and the whole nine.
Big foam board. Ed McMahon surrounded by like 4 CIA agents. Here you are.
Before 6 to 8 weeks, I mean, Jesus, have Santa Claus deliver him. He's faster. That's ridiculous. But it's government. It's the efficiency of government.
And I love how no one even has faith that they'll get them out that fast. They inherently know. They're like, it's going to be really tough for the government to do this. I'm like, Google could have the checks out tomorrow. Like, you'd get an email and you'd click on a link and it'd be like, click here to claim your $1,200 and have it direct deposited into your account. First, we'll deposit 2 test deposits into your account of less than 99 cents. Once you verify those, we'll remove them from your account and send you the $1,200. You can have it in 48 hours. And the government's like, no, we got to get top men on this. How are we going to handwrite all these checks? Handwrite?
I wonder how much PayPal would charge them to do it. Will they charge them our rate? Or would they? I wonder what PayPal would charge them.
So, yeah. PayPal's like, look, you got to cough up that 3% processing fee, buddy. Oh,
yeah, but they could do it within 6 to 8 weeks, though.
Easily. Simple. Oh man. They already have your social security number,
and your bank account info.
Yeah. But the Pizza Ranch has my debit card account, like as if there's not a corporation with every. I ordered Pizza Ranch today. I was out in town. I was on my essential travel, and I ordered Pizza Ranch to bring home for the kids.
What did you order?
We got an 8-piece fried chicken. He talked me out of the 10-piece, which meant I only got 1 piece of chicken, which was rude.
Yeah. It's good chicken, though.
It is good. Nice and crispy.
Yeah.
Delicious.
Yeah.
So we ordered the 8-piece chicken that came with potato wedges, $12.99. And then I got one of those. See? That's why I got the 8-piece, because the 10-piece isn't on a deal, and it's like $22. Because their chicken's expensive.
Yeah, it's not cheap. It's good chicken. You're gonna pay for it.
And then we got one of those. They're cheesy bread sticks, which are good. Which is basically just a pizza dough covered in cheese and then chopped into sticks.
They got some garlic stuff on there too. They put a little extra zing on there. So that's what you're paying for. So
that's all I ordered. So I called them and they're like, okay, what's your credit card number? We just met. So I give them my credit card number, expiration date. Okay. And those numbers on the back that matter. I'm like, why do you get this? Can't I just pay when I get there? But so Pizza Ranch had all that info.
Right.
Everybody has all that stuff. They could just put $1,200 on my debit card tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Just do it to Pizza Ranch.
Right. And don't they have RFID scanners? They can just like scan your back pocket and they got it.
I don't have any RFID cards.
No?
Not one.
How have you managed to do that?
I had one a while ago, and then I canceled that card, and none of my other ones do it. They got the chip, but no RFID.
Wow.
Which is kind of annoying, but also good.
Yeah, I suppose.
I also happen to have a Ridge wallet, which has RFID protection. So.
There you go. Get it, bud.
But
yeah, so I like you was craving chicken.
Oh yeah,
I had the chicken craving as well. Wanted to return my children back to their roots and get them a little fried chicken and some mashed potatoes.
I also bought chicken from Walmart, but go ahead.
Well, I tried to go to KFC, right?
Oh, sure.
So decided to go there, only to find out they were out of chicken. Like, how in the hell does the KFC, like, chicken is in the name?
They were out of chicken at KFC?
They ran out of chicken.
We didn't even know what to do. We tried selling the mashed potatoes by themselves, and no one wants them without the chicken.
But they say, oh yeah, the guy in front of you, yeah, he got the last of the chicken.
Yo, you didn't buy that, did you?
No, I said, so you're telling me.
Did they have KFC, a camera at the drive-thru? Could they see inside your car?
They said, well, right? I think I get chicken preference points, right?
Yeah. Like, you should be priority chicken buyer.
Right? I mean, you would think. I mean, the Colonel would. So anyway, I was a little ticked off. I kind of gave him a little crap. So I went immediately. So I don't have to worry about getting my food spat on. Right. So I immediately go into dick mode. And I'm like, wait. Am I being punked? Really?
Yeah.
KFC, Kentucky Fried Chicken. Listen to that one more. Kentucky Fried Chicken. You're out of chicken? Yeah. Your neighbor got it. My neighbor got it?
How do you know where I live, fam?
Right? Don't act like you know me or something.
Was by chance the drive-through operator at KFC, was it actually a lawyer from North Carolina? I just want to know for research purposes if it was a bankrupt lawyer who just shut down his practice from North Carolina. And was he in a daishiki?
I don't. You know what? I saw the silhouette. I saw the little white Muslim hat. It was kind of like a kippa, but not quite like a yarmulke. Only bigger.
Did he have a roll on the back of his neck, like a parabolic skin fold?
Yeah. It looked like one of those Down syndrome porpoises. Yeah. So you've seen this guy before?
Yeah, I've seen him. I've seen him once or twice. Was he tweeting a lot?
I don't know. He blocked me, but I tell you, he has a loyal fan base.
Do you know how many?
Both of his fans are just ruthless.
Do you know how much T. Greg doesn't care that you said that he doesn't like black people?
Probably.
He tweeted like 8 times after that about it.
Oh, did he?
Oh, yeah.
About his disdain for black people?
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't know because I've never met him, but he blocked me just because I know you.
No, he blocked you because you're black. I mean, don't make no mistake. There are other people who follow me that get through. It's just you.
I assume that it was. My mom always told me to check my breath before I call someone racist. It's like maybe they just don't like you because your breath stank. So I always go to race as a last resort. But I see him in the dashiki, and I'm like, "What's up, fam?" And my brother. So my brother was going to come on the show tonight.
Oh yeah.
He wanted to be here because he actually believes that the government acted properly.
No.
Yeah. And so he wanted to come on and talk, but he's like, you know what? I don't know. He's like, because there's this Greg douche guy, and he blocked me. And he says, and he's a lawyer. I'm a lawyer. So I was like, he's not really a lawyer. He's kind of a lawyer. Let's not. Well, we won't hash that anyway. So, I mean, can you be a lawyer if you're not practicing?
I don't know. I mean, I try not to practice, but I still am. So
yeah, but I mean, bankruptcy's kind of rough. I mean,
it is.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah.
I think the problem with him. The funny thing is, if your brother encountered T. Greg in his professional capacity. Without getting further into it than that, let's just say that your brother would be very annoyed at T. Greg.
Well, he was annoyed by the fact he never met me. Why would he? And to my knowledge, my brother hasn't even ever been on your show. He's been on my show, and you've been on my show at the same time. We've never been on your show.
But your brother is white though, so that's why.
No,
he's black. Well, that's why he blocked him.
Yeah, that's why he blocked him. And I told him, hey, no, it's okay. I mean, he just doesn't like black people, except for photo ops.
Deductive reasoning. Should we pull those photo ops up?
Oh yes.
I love the fact that he is uncomfortably grabbing every woman he can find. I love it. Everybody else should love it too.
I think he's part of the Joe Biden fan club. So, pull her up.
Tab. Let me get this one pulled up here. We'll get this popped up on screen. I'm going to get to the super chats in just a minute, but this is important, people.
Oh, it is important.
Here we go.
Oh yeah, that's just gold, ain't it?
So here we go. We've got over here. We've got T. Greg. We've got poor white victim here. We've got poor black victim here. You notice there's no hover hands here, y'all.
No.
Not a shred of hover hands.
No,
this is just he is grabbing. Now you find me one other hand on a hip in this picture than this racist rapist right here. We've got this guy's hand is on clearly, if he's even touching her, is on the small of her back. This guy only has one arm. This guy only has one arm. The women are not grabbing around. You don't see any folds on his daishiki here. Just his creepy hands.
Yeah.
Look at that. Disgusting.
Yeah, getting a little feelsy. But my favorite part of this is this little part here, Denise. Yeah, but same last name, saying, actually, buddy, according to our DNA, we do have some South African blood, so LOL.
So she makes a racist joke in there too.
Right.
Lol.
And I'm thinking, wait a minute, do black people have anything that we can call sacred anymore?
No,
I mean,
because
the hat is, it definitely looks more Aladdin-ish. So I mean, I feel like you're robbing a lot of cultures here.
Yeah, well, like Justin Trudeau.
Yeah, well, we don't even have
He's
time
taking
for that.
Justin Trudeau's culture right now.
We don't even have time for that degenerate.
But I want to enter I want to enter something else into evidence here. Okay? We've got the second picture as well. Right? Look at this.
Oh,
and
man.
I submit to you, sir, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I submit to you a full-on grab here and a full-on grab on this poor victim as well.
Yeah.
That's not his wife.
Yeah, and that look on that poor child's face does not look like the look of consent. It does not. I am very, very good at reading people, and that there's no consent written on her teeth at all.
Not at all.
Not at all.
And that's where you find the consent. It's on the teeth.
It's on the teeth.
Scientifically proven.
Yeah, his teeth right there, you can read those. It says, I'm a douchebag. Like that's
Of course this is... No, it's not ridiculous. You know why it's not ridiculous? Because like his random friend like his random racist apologist friend tried to bring up. T. Greg has spent the last year calling someone a sex pest and sexual assaulter and sexual predator because of pictures just like that. And I'm not joking. I'm not joking. This is a weirdo. T. Greg is a weirdo. And by his own standards, he's literally steps away from raping those women.
Well, I mean, as a true African would say, when you live in a glass house, you don't throw stones, right?
He doesn't live in a glass house. If anything, it's a glass apartment. And I think it was paid for by his new fiance.
Oh, she's not the one that's getting felt up in there.
No. No. Make no mistake, Q. No. As far as I could tell, all the women from that time in his life have hidden from him in dramatic fashion.
Well, I mean, he looks like he's got on the Harvey Weinstein starter kit. So yeah.
He's in it.
Oof, man.
He's in it.
And he's got coronavirus now.
You know my Harvey Weinstein?
Oh yeah.
He's got the coof. How'd he get it? Isn't he in prison?
He is in prison, but he's probably one of those guys, the non violent offenders that are being sent home.
Is the coof a sexually transmitted disease?
You know what? I bet you if she gets a little careless with the cough.
I don't know if it's a she. Hitting Harvey Weinstein up.
Oh, yeah, well, at the time, she identifies as a she, so that makes her a she. So
she's name is like Butch or Murphy or Walter.
Marvin.
This is all I have to say to T. Greg right there. Look at that. That's it. How embarrassing.
How embarrassing. Well, he went to a HBCA or whatever that is.
What's HBCA?
I think
the Half-Blood Children's Association. What's HBCA? I don't even know.
I don't know. I was hoping you could help me with the lingo.
HBCA. Huntington Beach Community Association. That's the first thing I Google is the Huntington Beach Community Association since 1928. So they probably have always loved black people.
Oh, yeah.
If I had to guess.
I'm sure they have some black charter members there.
We've got the Hoosier Basketball Coaches Association.
Someone's saying historically black college. So supposedly he went hot bald cuckold association.
Rip.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh my goodness.
That was worth the cost of admission. Oh, that's fantastic. So
he guess bounces checks always. I think that's what it is. That's the HBCA for T. Greg. He bounces checks always.
Oh my gosh. So I'm guessing that they're saying he went to a historically black college.
So the man even tries to intrude on black people's space?
Oh, I'm telling you, he pushing all up on us, man. Well, obviously you can see it's got jungle fever for sure.
Look, I watched Drumline. I saw they treated the white boy there. He had to meet all the same standards of rhythm that they had.
And maybe that might be why he doesn't like black people now. All you uppity ninjas. Yeah, I
saw can see that kid got cucked right out of his bass drumming by the other kid, by the regular black kid, and then
by the regular black kid.
Yeah, well, like most of the other cast. But then the white boy comes in and takes the black kid's position at the end. He just takes it from him.
Yeah, he was 3/5 the drummer he was.
Look, normally 3/5 is a time signature. Today, son, it's your identity. The white boy's got it. Jeez.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, no, he's a doozy, he is. So my brother would have been here to defend the actions of the Florida Sheriff's Department, or that particular county in Florida.
I mean, I know your brother's a lawyer, but does he not realize that the Constitution doesn't have a coof exception to the First Amendment? Like, it's not there. Now
his argument is that you do have a right to peaceful assembly, but if you are, say, peacefully assembling to discuss doing harm to someone, then that is not protected.
He brought it to criminal or civil conspiracy. like they went into church and like, dear Lord, I pray today with my brothers and sisters in Christ that we will go out and coof on the produce at every grocery store, and we will infect the world with your love and bring people home to you faster. Like, is that the prayer he thought they were going to say at the church?
Maybe he thought they were conspiring to coup on Satan. I don't know. We're going to storm the gates of hell. See, that's a death threat. That's a death threat.
Those gates of hell have rights, and they can't storm them.
Hell have rights. So they're gonna go throw a bunch of church kids in cages in Florida.
Now let's clarify something. I think you and I agree. If you're a church, you should probably cancel your services right now. And if you attend a church that is not canceling your services for your own damn sake, you should probably stay home. Like, sure. Your pastor is, even at the most bootleg bumpkin church, your pastor is probably online, or at least on a radio station, right?
Or can get his grandkids to put him on Facebook Live, whatever.
Yeah. So that said, rights are not about what you should do. If everybody did what they should, we would never, ever, ever need a right, because no one...
We would still be speaking British right now.
Right. Nobody needs to use a racial slur, right?
No.
But it's protected. Nobody needs to meet in a group of 700 people for a political rally, but it's protected. You don't need to anymore, certainly. You certainly don't now, because you could do it online. You could just watch Trump's speech or whatever. You go talk about your communist checks from Bernie all day online, and that's fine. You don't need it, but that's not the basis for the right, that you need it. It's inherent to you that you get to do the thing that might otherwise injure someone. That's what makes it a right, is the fact that you might harm someone with it by accident. God damn it. Q, you don't need a gun.
Ooh.
But you don't need one.
No.
And you might, while cleaning your gun, you might accidentally pop one off and tag your neighbor. That's a possibility. It happens with alarming regularity, which actually isn't that often, but ever is alarming regularity, right? It happens. And you do put people at risk by exercising your rights. That's why they're rights. That's why they're protected. If they never put anybody else at risk, they wouldn't exist.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
This is what's pissing me off about this.
But he tried to argue with me that, and I was like, you really should come on the show. You should come on and you should make this argument how these Christians showed up and they were protected, but their speech was not.
I like your brother, man. I wouldn't want to have that argument with him. I would not want to be that pissed off at your brother. I'm not T-Greg. I can't hate him.
Right. So, I'm.
The
It's
gay
frustrating.
centurion says, I just recently shot myself fucking with my holster. Man, don't do that. Don't do that. Call Dollhouse Phil. Get a doll if you need something to fuck with.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Was that another plug?
Do you ever do you know about Dollhouse Phil?
No, I do not.
Oh, buddy. Oh, I got to introduce you to Dollhouse Phil. I've had him on the show a couple times. I had him on with Drexel once. Dollhouse Phil's a UK detainee, because if you're in the UK, you're a detainee. He does not make. He is a retailer of dolls that exist for personal enjoyment. The dolls, we'll say, are about 5.5 feet tall, for example, and have very a nice synthetic soft skin.
Oh,
you
yeah?
could say. And sometimes you apply lubricant to the doll to get the most out of it.
Okay, so how much are these said dolls?
Very expensive.
So, give me a roundabout figure.
More than a tiger.
So you're telling me that I could have...
I'm telling you, you could buy Jessica Rabbit. You've seen Roger Rabbit, right?
Oh boy. Yeah.
They sell a literal Jessica Rabbit that you can hold and dress and touch and all sorts of things.
Westworld. I might be a square, but I'll take the tiger. I'll take the tiger. Yeah, I mean, dude, you should see. There's this one guy on there. He's like a cult leader.
On where?
But on this
on the Tiger King.
Yeah, he's a cult leader, but he's also a polygamist. So he's got like this, and these are all like supermodel women, right? And there's probably like 36 of them, and essentially they take care of his tigers. Like that's their only. He
hired a Victoria's Secret catalog to take care of tigers,
but he pays them like $150 a month.
That's it. Why wouldn't you just hire like a fat guy named Tony or whatever to take care of the tigers?
Would you rather you had $150 a month? I mean,
yeah, Tony wouldn't stand for that shit. They're models. They're used to getting screwed, I guess.
Right, and he gets the good massages too.
Oh, okay.
So
does he pay him $300 a month when he gets one?
No. Otherwise, they'd be working for free. That's what the $150 gets you. Yeah. But he got all that from the tigers. So I mean, yeah, I think I'll take the tiger.
Man, you should see what you could do with a doll, though. You can hire some supermodels to take care of that doll too. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Like, cue them dolls, though.
He sells these things by the truckload, man.
What?
Oh, yeah.
Who are these guys? Like, you have to wonder, do we run into these guys at the bank?
You absolutely. This guy is the most normal, cool dude you'd meet.
Oh, he's just a capitalist. No problem with him at all.
No,
I'm talking the people, his customers, though.
No, a bunch of people in my chat actually have these dolls, too.
Stepping away.
No.
Softly.
It's great. It's great. You know what? Okay. Real talk. I'll talk to you about the first time I ever heard of these dolls. Okay.
Put the lotion in the basket.
No. The first time. And by the way, Phil will make you a doll of someone if you need to. Depending on who it is, though. There are limits, apparently. There are limits. Okay. I'm not sure what they are. But there are.
Oh, my goodness.
So the first time I heard of...
Can you get him on the show?
I've had him on the show.
I want him on the show when I'm on the show.
I'll get him on the show sometime.
If you get him on the show before, ask him honestly.
I'll let you ask him. We'll get him on the show together.
Okay, all right.
I love talking to Phil. I always talk to him for like 6 hours because his life is.
I got one question for him, and that's it. And I gotta know. I gotta know. So okay. So I'm sorry I interrupted you. A Hillary Clinton doll. You are a awful person. An awful person. Now I have that in my...
That doll would weigh too much. You don't want that. No, he said that's common. People buy big dolls. They buy big girl dolls, but then they end up getting a second doll because the big girl dolls are heavy. They're hard to move around. These things they're like the steel frame. They're sturdy. And then they got all that synthetic flesh. And if you just pile that on there, these things weigh like 150, 200 pounds if they get big enough.
If they get big enough.
Look, he makes some thick girls.
He makes some thickums. All right.
I'm just saying.
BB dub. All right. Well,
yeah.
Okay.
But
wow.
No, we'll have him on the show and have you on. I'd love to. I love talking to Phil. His life is wildly interesting. And when you sit there, you're like, this is the most British guy I've ever seen. He's like drinking tea, just having a good time, talking with his cool, smooth accent. And he's just the most normal guy. And here he is running this like hilarious business. It's awesome.
That's
just
nothing to sneak.
Just like every other business, right?
I mean, yeah. I mean, but yeah, I guess he's making people happy.
Oh yeah.
You know, I suppose.
I was going to tell you about the first time I ever had any sort of knowledge of these dolls.
Knowledge.
I was watching a show on some channel. I used to watch a couple shows. There was like Lizard Lick Towing. There's a tow truck show. The company's called Lizard Lick Towing, and they go out and they do the high risk tows, right? Like repos on stuff, and I've watched those guys get beat up a couple times. Always worth it to watch them. They're in like New Orleans, and then I watched this one. They do high risk evictions.
Ooh,
and the company's based out of Nevada, like Las Vegas. So they do Nevada, they do some California area stuff too, and these guys get a call that this guy in an apartment complex is out just banging broads on his balcony and all this stuff. He's just having sex on his balcony all the time. And it's he's been asked to stop, but he just won't, right? So they go and contact the girlfriend first. And they're like, you guys got to stop having sex on the balcony. She's like, we're not having sex on the balcony. That's ridiculous. She's like a nurse.
Okay,
like a normal human. And she's like, what are you talking about? So they go and they bust into this place. He has dolls for days. He has like 9 of these things. They're positioned around the apartment and they're all like in different lingerie and stuff like that. And then there's one out on the balcony and you're just like, no, don't do it, buddy. No. And, he's got him like he's got like one in the bathtub and another one like attending to her. It was the funniest thing I've ever seen. It was like, because it was this guy and his girlfriend had no idea. So she would like leave the apartment and he would bust out the doll stash when he knew she'd be gone for a while.
What?
Yeah.
Where was he hiding? I mean, it's an apartment. Where was he hiding?
Maybe in his
inflatable?
Maybe at a van or something. Them putting sacks or whatever. I don't know. They're not inflatable. No.
He's excited. I mean, but how long? Like, is it an hour, 2 hours? How long should she have to be gone for you to feel comfortable with it?
Well, she was a nurse, so she'd do like those like 16 and 24-hour shifts.
That
and
sounds
stuff like
a lot of freaking work for
I know. Just get
4 hours.
Just get one doll out for your 15 minutes and then go home. Like, just be done with it. Then watch Netflix.
Right? He's like, when the cat's away. I mean, golly, man. That seems like a lot of setup.
But see, Phil was talking to me about this. He's like, guys like to buy them. Like, they will buy the doll and then they'll like raid victoriassecret.com or whatever and buy them a bunch of outfits and stuff like that. And I'm like,
accessorizing.
Yeah. Like I was like, okay. I mean, I guess. I don't know. It's I don't have one, so I don't know. I mean, maybe I have like 20 stashed in the van, but I don't know what it's like. So it was It's wild. It's all just it's something I don't understand. But I'm cool with it. I don't care what people do.
Yeah, I can definitely attest to the fact that you wouldn't have any of those. Not a large number of them. I mean, when do you ever have like 20 minutes?
Never. Like... I would literally. There is no like, oh, Lady Rackets is gonna be gone for a day. That doesn't happen to me. And if she does, I've got the kids. So that's right. Definitely not happening.
Yeah, I'm like, wait, I think maybe once I've been around you and there's been no one else around.
It's rare.
It's pretty rare. So I don't think you're doing that to like haul like 120-pound dolls up the stairs. Like... I'm
not hauling 120 pounds of anything up any stairs. That is way too much work for me. But
like 8 of them to get the whole effect, get everything going. Like
yeah. Well, let's talk about the right stuff in just a second. Let me read the super chats. We've got a couple the 20s that I've been putting off for a long time because we've been having a good conversation. But that's me failing in my job. So let me read the 20s and then we'll get back and let's talk about these rights, because I think it's amazing what's going on right now, and we need to discuss it more. Ryan K says, "Hey Racket, sent you a DM about a development in Abilene, Texas. Long story short, couple traveled to New York and back, didn't self-quarantine, symptoms surfaced, and then tested positive. Now under 24/7 law enforcement watch." So we got 24/7 armed guards in Abilene, Texas.
Deep in.
Fantastic. Wow. Bryce Byerly says, "If you are an attorney in good standing with your state bar, can you bring your tiger into a courtroom?" Look, only if you need to intimidate a witness.
Right.
DFW Knight says that Texas judge was defending the people's right to disassembly of the unborn. Damn. Also watch Roar, the giant cat comedy. No stuntmen, no trainers, no animals harmed, only the cast and crew. I like the Spike Man. It says, announcement! It's not a bioweapon. China can be trusted. Everything is fine. Recreational abortion will award you 400 social credits. Remember, it's just a flu. Alliant Devil, thank you for the donation. And Ryan Mercado says, every other right being put on the chopping block. Then Judge Yackel says, abortion is the most important constitutional rights. Other rights in the Bill of Rights. Am I a joke to you? That's what it is. That's what it's like. It's insane. It's crazy. Like, look, I know I sound like the crazy weirdo, right? The guy yelling on the street with like, I've got the beard. I was gonna shave today, and Lady Ragged's like, no, don't do it. Just grow it out through coronavirus so people can measure the quarantine by how scruffy and terrible you look.
We can measure the if a dude comes out of quarantine not properly bearded up, we're all gonna know he was cheating.
Exactly.
So,
exactly.
Yeah.
So and since my dude Adrian, he's locked down too, I can't go get a haircut anyway.
Yeah.
So I'd like shave, but I'd have sideburns hanging off here and hair all shaggy. That'd be terrible. But yeah, man, it's wild. I know I sound like the crazy guy in town, but a week ago, I'm complaining about one guy getting locked up in his house. And I said, look, everybody's going to be locked in their houses soon. And now you have state governments literally telling you, you can't leave your home unless we give you permission, unless you justify it. You cannot walk off your property. You can't hippity hoppity off your own property without a government saying so. This has basically never happened on the scale it's happening now.
No.
Ever.
No. I mean, the worst I can think of is during World War II, when there were actual lights out, we don't want the bombers to see us, type. But yeah.
And that's a mildly different story. In World War II, Well, actually, more appropriate. I think it was the Korean War. Truman.
Mm-hmm.
Truman wasn't World War II. He was Korean War, I believe. He tried to nationalize the steel mills, right? He tried to nationalize the steel mills for the war effort, and the courts said no. If today Trump tried to nationalize a pharmaceutical company to make a coof cover, right?
Right.
The courts would probably say yes. And we were in a war. Congress had declared war. We're in this place now where there are nothing. Like, what right is sacred other than abortion?
I mean, the fact that our president is, and look, I've been very, very clear. I like Trump. I think he's done a lot more good than bad. Okay.
Yeah. But
I'm not going to be so far up anybody's ass that when they do something abominable that I'm not going to call them out for it. Right. I mean, so he orders, he tweets out and he jumps all over GM because GM is not, making the ventilators fast enough. And I'm like, wait, GM is a privately held automobile company.
Are you telling me, though, if I go to get my oil changed right now, they're going to tell me they're on back order on the air filters?
They always on back order.
It'll be the first time in history you go into your dealer to get an oil change, and they're like, look, we're not upselling you on the air filter. That in-cabin air filter, you don't even need it. It's fine.
Yeah,
it's got
good.
Butterflies and stuff all in it, but you're okay.
We'll just blow it off for you. It'll be fine. It'll be good for another 4,000 miles. Yeah, man. So I'm baffled by the times that we live in. But can we please get into this whole? You guys talked a little bit about the habeas corpus deal, right? I mean, you guys have you discussed that on your show?
We talked about it a little bit, not a lot. What do you want to talk about?
Well, I mean, so that was bad enough, but of course, that was one of those things. I talked to Tim. Some of the guys will know Tim, but most of them won't.
Tim Tim Miller is a state representative who we both know personally is a friend of ours. Good, and he's a dude. Frequent guest on Q's show. Good dude. I disagree with him on several things, but I still like him at the end of the day.
And good dude. He's just he'd probably be like a lot of your parents. Okay, very very boomerish. Okay,
he has a channel. It's called. He has a YouTube channel you can follow. It's called it's Miller Time, or it's called Miller Time, which makes it literally impossible to find because I don't know if you guys have ever heard of a massively popular comedian named Dennis Miller who also did a segment called Miller Time. But my man Tim Miller has a YouTube channel, and my God, if you can find it, peace to you. Please subscribe to him because no one else can find it. He picked the worst name.
And so we and Tim get into the discussion about all of this, and he understands. Well, I don't like any of that, but there are times where the government has to step in and help things along a little bit. But oh my gosh, man, I'm watching all of this and I'm thinking, no, at what point do you take away people's right to live, to survive, right? I mean, at what point is it okay to say, okay, no, we are going to put you in jail indefinitely until we deem you to not be a threat anymore. We're not charging you with anything. We're just putting you in jail. That's absolutely insane to me. Absolutely insane.
So the crazy thing is the Justice Department's request for the suspension of habeas corpus doesn't say the words habeas corpus anywhere. Because if they did, you could point right to the Constitution, Article 1, Section 9, where it says, you shall not suspend habeas corpus except in wartime. Let's see. I'll find it.
Well, we're at war with coronavirus, so that makes it okay. So we are at war with an invisible enemy, as the president said.
Here we go. The privilege of the writ of habeas corpus shall not be suspended unless when in cases of rebellion or invasion. So not even wartime. Wartime here. Like, it's not like, oh, we're in Afghanistan again, we're going to suspend habeas corpus. No. Or invasion. The public safety may require it. The habeas corpus suspension, Civil War. That's what you have to think of. That's the last mass habeas corpus suspension. You can't do it. And you certainly can't do it for a virus.
No.
And the other thing, I know people are stuck on this. And this is rights are something that we hold on to and value even when we're scared of the consequences of holding them. If you don't do it when you're afraid, then you don't value the right. And if you don't value the right, that's okay. It's okay, but realize you are literally no different than any other person who doesn't value any other right. There's not a hierarchy of rights, except for abortion being on top, apparently. But the people who want to take away your guns are scared of your guns. That's why they take it away. So if you're justifying the taking away of your right to travel or assemble because you're scared of the virus, you are the person taking the guns. I know no one likes that comparison. It's very fucking uncomfortable to suggest that you're similar in perspective to someone who wants to take guns away. But they're operating under fear. And if you're operating under that same fear and devaluing the right, you're in a similar headspace. And this is not a call for you to change your mind, but it's a call for you to examine what you value. Because that's the trick. What do you value? Do you value this thing when times are hard to keep it? And it's hard to say. I really wish everybody would not go outside, but I really don't want the government to tell us not to go outside with guns and the force of law.
And my answer to it is this. My cousin, whom I love dearly, but I want to kill right now, decided for spring break to go down to none other but South Padre Island, right? We know about that, Nick.
Yeah.
And he's out there, posting pictures of him dancing with girls on the beach and all that good stuff. And I'm like, what an idiot, man. Like, what an idiot. All it takes is one cough.
Yes.
And you're all mowed down. Okay. So I'm thinking, man, our grandmother is sick and she's got, lung issues and all that stuff. And so, yeah, she's high risk. And so I'm like, you shouldn't be out there. You're an idiot, right? Now, you're not welcome to come to my house, but he has the right to do that. He has the right to go out and to do that. And I have the right to not allow him in my house. I have the right to stay within my home, right? And not go anywhere. But if I make the decision to go somewhere, I am making the decision that, you know what? I might come in contact with someone who has coronavirus.
It's the hardest thing. Someone in chat just said, so your solution is to ask people? We tried that. Yes. That is the solution. That's what we do. We ask every day. Every day that you have a gun, we ask you not to shoot somebody.
Yeah.
Every day that you have a car, we ask you not to run over somebody. Now, if you say that, well, then there should be criminal penalties for coughing on someone, maybe there should be. And that's a question for the courts, right? If you have the COVID, or even if you're a COVID risk and you go around coughing on people, maybe we should look into criminal liability the same way we do with every other single case of criminal liability.
Nick,
right?
I'm going to call you on that. Let's cut the bullshit, though. The same courts that would be ruling on that ruled that it's okay for a dude to sleep with a woman and not tell her that he has HIV.
Only in California.
Okay, but still, those things are going to get tried. And we actually have a group of judges that heard that argument and said, you know what? Hey, he doesn't have to tell her. So you're going to tell me that if I cough on someone and give them a coronavirus, something that they have a 95% chance of surviving and beating and getting over and getting back to normal, that that's what's going to make me a terrorist?
Nope. I don't think you'll get many convictions.
I don't think you would either. But I mean, but we can.
That's
we
not
can
my
have
problem, though. We can at least let the courts work it out. That's how we work out every other right. And I know it sounds so uncomfortable because the government, listen, guys.
It's the government.
Trump and his Department of Health and the CDC.
The V is silent.
You know, the government has already claimed victory. Do you know this? You know this,
Yeah.
right?
Oh,
They
yeah.
said, look, we're predicting 200,000 Americans dead. By the way, always under promise, over deliver. That 200,000, they expect less than that. I promise you, they expect less than 200,000 dead. And when it's more like 50,000 or less, they will claim all the damn credit. And I will prove it by them saying, if we didn't do the measures we'd already done, it would have been 2 million.
Okay, but let me say this.
Already said it would have been 2 million if we didn't do this.
Okay, so if for some reason there are 199,999 cases, I want to be the 200,000th one. That guy will get the greatest care of all time. He will be pampered. He will be massaged. He will eat all of the fried chicken that there is to offer.
Asian hand jobs for days, but they will have masks on to protect him.
They'd be like, you must stay alive. We cannot allow anything to happen to you. Like, you would be the god. Like, can you imagine the care that you would get? So yes, I will be tribute. I will take the 200,000 spot. I will volunteer myself. When we get to about 190,000,
I will come cough on you.
Yeah, I will take my coughs like a man.
But that's how it look. I know it's scary, but I get it. That's the point of rights. And that's why you have an asshole like me sitting here saying, yeah, but rights though. Yes, the rights matter now because the next virus, they're going to matter. And the next virus, guys, this so far, now, pray I'm right. So far, this isn't even as bad as H1N1. Like, I mean, you know, and we didn't do it then. And so what happens the next go around? How many times do we let them shut down the economy? Because I tell you what, there are going to be people dying from that economic shutdown that weren't dying from the disease. Those won't get reported. Like you won't have a handy statistic for the people who off themselves because they lost their jobs or their families due to the economic shutdown. You won't have people starving because of the economic shutdown or because the homeless shelter closed or whatever. You won't get those stats. They won't be there. You'll have to infer those stats. We won't ever know what the shadow toll of the government's action actually is. All we'll know is the government will claim it would have been higher. And remember, you've heard this argument before. I'll contend with literally every president, but you've heard this argument with Obama. The 2008 recession and recovery would have been worse, right, except for all the things we did. Because that's how the government does it. That's how they do it. And you can't falsify it. It's a bullshit claim. You can never say, no, it would have not been worse if you didn't do anything, because we did the thing. And the mechanics of the economy and the mechanics of coronavirus and viral epidemiology, it's too complex to just say, well, it definitely would have gone this way or that way. You can't do it. So you already have the government lips around your dick telling them to trust you. But just like any other street hoe, don't trust them.
Don't trust them.
May feel good right now, but don't trust them. You're going to itch later.
But they're already doing it in a small way because Trump, every single day, it's must watch. You got to listen to his press conference. If you haven't watched it, it's comic relief. You have to watch. And many, many, many experts, and we have some of the best, I tell you. Many, many experts have told me that we would have lost many, many, many thousands, many precious, wonderful, beautiful lives of Americans would have perished in this invisible enemy that we're fighting, coronavirus. It's a very terrible thing that the Chinese gave us. They should have done better. But many, many millions more would have died had we not shut down the borders. He's already doing it now, right?
Oh, of course, yeah.
So and again, I fundamentally like Trump. Okay, for those of you that know me, I fundamentally like him, but he's learning the politician thing pretty well. He really is, right? If you blow up the problem to be bigger than what it is, when it ends up being something smaller, you claim it as a victory. It's spin. Right, it's all spin tactics. So you're absolutely right.
You'll never be able to prove it. It's a claim that they will never ever empirically test. I see people saying, "Oh, Nick doesn't understand science." Look, it's not about the science. It's not about.
Are you a science denier, Nick?
Yes. It's not about the recommended course of action being right or wrong. People should stay home.
Yeah.
Some guy said, "I'm sorry, I don't want my mom to die." Me either. She should stay the fuck home.
Right.
That's what she should do. She should stay away from everybody. Absolutely. Right. I'm staying away from most people. I got close to someone at Walmart because I had to go out and get some necessary supplies. And I grabbed this pack of hot dogs because my kids eat hot dogs. And I'm like a whole cart and some away from this person. And they were talking to someone else, and I'm like, okay, I gotta reach up and grab the hot dog. They look up and they go, and they backed away from me. And I was like, and I looked at them, and she looks at me and she goes, "I'm sorry." Like she realized how stupid it was what she just did. Because I'm not breathing at her. I'm not coughing. I'm not like licking her cart or anything. But she's like, it's such a weird place. And I'm like, don't worry about it. Everything's crazy right now. Like I'm not taking offense to it either. But like, I'm a whole cart away from her. I'm not facing her or doing anything. I'm just reaching in to grab this thing. And because she's so scared, she like backs away inherently. We're in a weird place. You should follow. This is the fucking annoying thing. Everybody should follow the recommendations. The government shouldn't lock you in your house. Government already recommends you don't shoot anybody.
And 99.8% of us abide by that, except for the degenerates in Chicago. We can talk about them later.
Yeah, we should talk about them now. Coronavirus has apparently lowered the murder rate in Chicago.
Yeah, so all the other diseases have says, no, we don't give a damn about Black lives, and coronavirus says we do. Yeah. We do. And so coronavirus is saving lives.
The official disease of Black Lives Matter, coronavirus. Right. Can we blame BLM for coronavirus?
I mean, if it weren't for a coronavirus, millions more Black children would have died during the coronavirus epidemic. But coronavirus saved them. So yeah, we can definitely say that. We can definitely say that. So what was it like 50, 60 a weekend that were being shot and killed in Chicago?
No, the deaths were lower than 50 a weekend. The deaths were more like 10 to 12 a weekend, but 50 shootings.
So now, but they're all at home. So it's great. I mean, even if they weren't at home, even if they were the only ones out,
Chicago's localized kill count puts Corona to shame. Like if the entire nation was under Chicago shooting statistics for Corona, we would have 100,000 dead like in an hour.
Yeah. Corona would have some bodies on them for real. But I'm looking at it and that I'm in the exact same place with you. I mean, at first I was thinking, well, you know what? I think
there's still a person shot every 4 minutes and 9 seconds from Bilal. Jesus Christ.
Oof. Golly. I don't think every 4.5 minutes someone gets coughed on.
No.
Right? Except for Mardi Gras. It sounds like that was an awful time down there. I mean, they're saying that Louisiana is gonna be the next ground zero. So
Look,
it's
I thought it was just chicks with masks doing this. You know what the worst thing is? When you go on Instagram and you're like, oh, okay, here's all these people I know, and you check up, and it's like, oh, so-and-so posted a pic, and it's a chick, and she's got like just a whole rack of beads, and you're like, God damn it. No, don't
Right?
do it.
I hope you bought those.
Really enjoyed Mardi Gras in New Orleans, just looking like Mr. T.
Oh man, yeah, I pity the fool. I pity all of them.
I used to help a dude at Wells Fargo, my man Charles. I wish I can't even remember his last name. It doesn't matter. Charles introduced me to Hennessy. Charles, he was from Chicago, sounded exactly like Mr. T. This guy comes in. I'm like, Charles, man, what are you in here for? Sits down at my desk. He's like, look, I got them overdraft charges. You take care of those. I pull it up. He's got like 3 overdraft charges, and we had a stupid policy where you could refund 2 but not 3. But if I refunded 2, he'd still be overdrawn. If I refunded all 3, he'd be back to like $2. Like, look, man, I'll refund all 3. I don't care. My boss will gripe at me, but who cares? And so he's like, oh, man, thanks. What do you drink, man? You drink Hennessy? I'm like, no, Charles, I don't drink Hennessy. I don't really drink anything. Because this is back before I drank at all. And he's like, I'll get you some Hennessy. I'm like, Charles, please, just don't overdraw your account anymore. He shows up like 3 weeks later with 11 overdraft charges. For those of you who don't know, that would be $360 at the time I'm saying this of just overdraft charges. And like, Charles, what are you doing, man? He's like, look, I need help. I'm like, I can't help you anymore.
Oh my gosh. Poor Charles.
He never bought me the Hennessy either.
Well, at least you know that you didn't have anything to do with his overdrafts. I mean, you would have felt kind of bad if one of those overdrafts would have been like because I mean, that would have brought the cost of the Hennessy up to like what, $50?
I would have poured him a glass at my desk.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be a really expensive bottle of Hennessy. I
love that. There were certain people I met. I worked in downtown St. Paul in the Skyway at that Wells Fargo. There were certain people I met that were just like, you couldn't find these people in real life. There was a dude with a parrot. Like, he had a literal parrot. He just walked around the St. Paul Skyways. He talks to his parrot and hangs out with it. It sits on his shoulder like he's a pirate, right? And he just sits and like looks out the skyway, and he's got his parrot there, and he's like, hey, what's up, buddy? And you're like, what are you doing? I'm just going to get a sandwich or whatever. And then we had the lady who at Christmas time would walk around like talking about Satan Claus and how he's going to take all the children away. And she came to my desk. She was I think she was a Seventh-day Adventist.
Okay.
And she was talking, and I was like, I went over to my coworker, and I'm like, whew, just had to deal with one of them crazy Christians at Seventh-day Adventist or whatever. And my coworker's like, yeah, it's my church. Oh, God damn. Come on. No.
Oh man. No, it's so now you weren't one of them guys over there opening up all them false accounts, was you?
No, I was the guy. Literally, I was the worst employee. If I did that, I would still be employed with Wells Fargo. They loved those people. I reported 3 different people in my branch because I was a snitch. Mainly because, look, I had my motivation though. I wasn't a bad snitch. I was a good snitch. I was trying to save my own ass from getting fired. Nick, why aren't you selling more credit cards? Well, look, Tina over there, she's racking up credit cards that people didn't ask for. I got 4 people at my desk today canceling cards that they never heard of. That's me covering myself. But no, I had to report like 3 people because And here's the reason why. Someone sits down at my desk and starts yelling at me because some other asshole opened up a credit line in their name without them asking. I'm like, I don't know you. I've never met you. You didn't give me sales. You didn't open your checking account through me. You didn't keep my job. You kept their job. I don't care about them. So I go to my manager and I'm like, hey, this is another $15,000 personal line of credit that this person never knew that they signed up for. They didn't even ask for it. And they're like, well, it must have been for overdraft. I'm like, no, those are $5,000 lines of credit automatically. This is $15,000. This is separate. And there's a fake signature on the actual line. You can tell it's fake. And they're like, okay, we'll get right on this. That person got a bonus. That person got a bonus. And they come to me and they're like, why aren't you selling more credit lines? I'm like, because we're in downtown St. Paul. Nobody has any money. They all are broke. I can't get a credit line on an opportunity checking account. The opportunity to overdraft twice. That's what that was.
I don't know why. I mean, you do know that poor kids are just as bright as white kids.
I never met a kid at that St. Paul Wells Fargo. You know who I did meet?
Opening up bank accounts.
I met Archie Cotton. Okay, Archie Cotton. Archie comes to my desk. Archie is on several substances. I don't even know what. And I talk to him. He's got the shakes. Hey, Nick, can you help me out with a checking account? Run him through check systems. Check systems, by the way, is the National Checking Registry. If you bounce some checks like Archie did, they have a big list. And it goes, no, you don't qualify for a checking account. It's a big red flag. And you have to go to your manager to get it overridden with like bounce check rap sheet going, okay? Archie comes up, help me out. No, Archie, I can't. He comes up to me the next day, but before he comes to my desk, I see him walking in the Skyway, and Archie's got a strange gait, as you can imagine, right? And he walks over to the garbage can, and he looks down, stops shaking for a minute, and he reaches down, he picks up this big cigarette, and he puts it behind his ear, which might be worse than wherever it was before. And he comes up to my desk after that, and I'm like, Archie, what are you doing with that smoke, man? And he's like, I'm going to have it when I leave. And I was like, no. Will you go get an HIV shot afterwards, please? Please?
So you're telling me that there's about an 80% chance that Archie has the coof then, right?
Archie did not survive to the coof.
Oh, because if he did, yeah, he has picked up a coof-riddled cigarette butt.
Archie had a pimp limp mixed with epilepsy. Exactly. You help me out with something?
Can you help me out with something?
Archie, you're in the wrong store for that, buddy.
oh my gosh, man. But yeah, no, it's crazy times, Nick. It's crazy times.
I don't even know what to do.
Well, you know, but let me reiterate something. Earlier I mentioned that, look, as far as I'm concerned, if you're going to be a patriot, right, you need to be aware when our rights are being stepped on, whether it is by someone we like or someone we don't like, right?
Yeah.
I mentioned, would you still be okay with a pastor being put in jail for going to church? A Baptist pastor at that.
I'm not. And by the way, if he was a Muslim, now notice they didn't say anything about the Muslims, right?
Right.
What was the line from New York?
Yeah, Bill de Blasio.
We got to talk about that real quick, specifically.
Yeah,
so
Bill de Blasio.
First thing you tell me about is this Florida pastor who gets arrested.
Right.
Second thing you tell me is that Bill de Blasio has come out and listen to this, guys. Says,
So Bill de Blasio comes out and says,
yeah.
Bill de Blasio comes out and says that that churches and also synagogues that do not comply with the stay-at-home order may be closed permanently.
Now listen to that, y'all. You may not go to church, but the freedom of religion is literally in the same bill, the same amendment as your free speech. It's on par with your right to guns. It's on par with your right to not have soldiers put in your household during a time of peace. It's the same damn level. And they're talking about, look, if you violate our boot stepping on your throat, and before you guys write off churches, know this. If people aren't in the damn pews, they're not donating to those churches.
Right.
And you may have several churches, several good people, and lots of good pastors, even if you're not religious. They're good people doing some good stuff. I'm not talking about them. I'm not talking about Joel Osteen here. We're not talking about mega churches. I mean, the pastor in Florida was a mega church pastor. We're talking about your neighborhood church where they actually do like a Meals on Wheels thing, and they help out old people on the weekends when you don't want to, or they take in a homeless family to stay at the church overnight when you wouldn't let them in your house. That shit is on hold, and you've got Bill de Blasio saying, we may not let them reopen again. That's terrifying. Yeah. That is a terrifying proclamation and a crazy state. Like, think of it this way. You went outside during the coronavirus. Maybe you don't get to own a gun anymore. The gun thing's overplayed. Gun thing's overplayed, right? You went outside during coronavirus against our order. You don't get the right to an attorney anymore. You went outside during coronavirus. We're going to take your property and you don't get just compensation anymore. You no longer have the right to remain silent anymore. You don't get any of this stuff. These are your fundamental rights. We laid them out in a Bill of Rights so that these specifically would not be violated. And here we are, just letting government talk about shutting down churches. First of all, I would argue they don't have the power to shut down a church now during coronavirus. They don't have it. Now, you shouldn't go. Don't go. Don't go to church. Don't go. Be a heathen like me. I'm not going to church. I'm not going to go. Too many old people to cough on me. I don't want that. I don't want that at all. Don't go.
Not doing it.
But you have the right to go. It's your deal to make the correct decision. That's the right. With rights come responsibilities. But Nick, a bunch of idiots will still go. Yeah, they will. That's the price of rights. The price of freedom.
And your right is to stay in your house and don't go anywhere.
Yes.
That is your right. Don't go out.
But think about it this way. Your local church, not the big giant Baptist church, right? First Baptist down in Houston will be fine for a couple of weeks.
Wait, which campus? There's like 5 of them in Houston. And the pastor flies from one to the next.
The one by Northwest Mall. That's the one I remember. The one with the bowling alley, the dormitory, the gym, the weight room, the basketball courts. That one. Nice. They're going to be fine. I got a letter from my church today just reminding people, please keep giving us money. We have staff that are still working. We have utilities and rent that we're still paying. And I thought, oh man, glad I don't go to that church anymore. Right? Man. It's crazy. They're not getting a stimulus check. It would be unlawful for think about this. This is the worst part of this. It would be unconstitutional for the government to give a stimulus to churches that close. We would be up in damn arms about the government bailing out churches. Holy Christ. We would be pissed if the government was bailing out churches, but we're fine with them shutting them down. That's wild. The government has unquestionably more right to shut down your damn GameStop than they do to shut down a church.
So
and I don't think they have a right to shut down a GameStop, but that's just me.
So let's get this straight, though, Nick. So we're living in a time frame where the mayor, not the freaking governor, the mayor of New York City says churches who don't comply may be closed permanently. Churches and synagogues. Let's be fair to him. So churches and synagogues, because I want to make sure that Christians hit hard, evangelicals hit hard, but man, the Jews, they run things. So you piss off the Jews, you're screwed. All right. So
you have no empirical proof that the Jews run anything. How dare you? Don't look at the demographic makeup of every media company, please.
So let's look at this. So if I've worked really hard and I have acquired some wealth, right?
Ooh, how'd you do that?
I'm saying if.
Okay.
So, okay, this is not a confession. If, okay, and I bought a second home in Rhode Island, right, so that I could have a home on the water and I could get away from the hustle and bustle of New York City.
Sure.
I'm not allowed to go to my home right now. If I have my vehicles registered in New York City and I have a New York license plate, I can't go to my home right now. I can be hunted down.
Yeah, because they literally said it, right? No travel to your other home.
Right.
If you have a second home that's not in New York City or even in New York City, if you have a second home or a second place that you like to keep where you can get away from the hustle and bustle of downtown, fuck off. You can't go there. You can't go to your own property. Don't go maintain it. Don't go make sure no one's stealing from it. Don't go grab your toilet paper from it. Definitely don't do that.
Yeah, that's community toilet paper now. So
exactly.
Yeah, man. No, it's a crazy time to be alive, but then to top it all off, you hit me with the whole, but hey, if you can't go and baptize your baby on Sunday, but if you want to kill it on a Sunday, you are totes cool with that.
That's fine. That's fine. What even is social distancing? It's just 14 days, bruh.
I'd like to 6 feet. You got to stay apart. I'd like to see those forceps. Holy crap!
Look, you have an absolute right to a haunted vagina. You do not have an absolute right to go to church. You don't have a right to a vaginal exorcism from your local priest.
And then the Pope comes out and says, "Oh yeah, by the way, due to social distancing, you don't need to come in for confession. You can just talk to God directly." I'm like, wait a minute. I've been taking my Wednesday afternoons every single week to come in and tell you about all these embarrassing things, and I could have just done this at home.
You told priests embarrassing things? What is wrong with you, Q? Don't tell those guys. They're chatterboxes.
I'm like, Jesus, all this time, I could have just been just me and Jesus talking in the bedroom. I'm like, well, thanks. Now you tell me.
Catholics be like, look, normally you need to consume the literal body of Christ every Sunday. We got to make an exception because there's a virus. God's never even heard of one of those before. Look, also, you have to go through one of us as emissaries to the saints who are then emissaries to God. It's a 3-step process. But you know what? Just for now, though, the Protestants might have an idea on how to talk directly. Look, Catholics, find your local Protestant. They will teach you how to pray directly. They will help you.
You know that guy, Martin Luther? Okay, maybe heretic was a little strong.
Look, we said he did those 44 things, but he got like 15 of them right, though.
Hey, we overreacted. Yeah, you can go ahead and talk to him yourself. I'm going to sit this one out. I don't want to get coronavirus or anything.
I legitimately love. Okay, so if you guys don't know, Yeah, I think most of you do. I was raised Catholic, and my wife was raised Protestant. And so, what the best part is hearing each of our families try and like figure out the other side's beliefs. That's been so great. Because it's like, oh, don't those Catholics, don't they like worship the saints? And my parents are like, what the hell? Worship a saint? Who worships a saint? That's weird. But it's like, but don't they do those like weird, like I don't even know what my parents say because I'm always just like, no, they don't do that. And it's like, what are you talking about? And it's both sides. Like, what are you talking about? You guys are basically the same people. Just one mass is really boring and the other one is really fucking boring.
But I tell you what, man, growing up a Baptist where our song service on some Sundays would go for 2 hours, right?
Oh, baby.
Man, and it'd be hot in there too, because they didn't tithe enough last month.
Did you go to an HBC? Historically black church?
Yeah, it was historical and it was black, but we would go to these places, right? So we
because white folk
side.
have never sang for 2 straight hours.
Hey, but
that was one hymn, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, and it was on a loop, right? Imagine my shock when I came to realize there was only 4 verses. Right? We just sang them over and over and over again.
It's call and response while the pastor takes a break.
But the insane part about it was, Nick, I mean, the church, you might be in there 4 or 5 hours, right?
Oh yeah,
like a Sunday service, 4 or 5 hours.
That's a lot of potential.
The thing I liked about Mass was like you could get in there and out like they were the Jiffy Lube of church services. Right?
Oh,
you could be in there and out in 30 minutes.
And you get the right priest on the right Sunday when the Oilers are playing. Oh, baby. You are out in 45 or less, guaranteed if the Oilers were playing. If the Oilers are playing on the East Coast, he just called in sick. You got a deacon.
I mean, but you are in there, you are out of there, like incredibly efficient.
Yeah.
So I can definitely see the allure to Catholicism. I mean, you get in there, get out, and on your way.
I went to a Catholic church in where were we? I think we were in Colorado. I was on a mission trip as a little spry youth. I was on a mission trip. Mission trips translate to you get to go on a trip with girls, but you don't get to touch them. So I went on a mission trip as a young lad. We're on the way to Montana. And we do a sleepover in Denver. I heard nothing but police sirens the entire time. This is a Catholic church with no music. That was the shortest, most #blessed mass I have ever been to. I'm like, they don't sit and sing all this stuff. They just talk for like 10 minutes, do the prayers, do the communion, and you're done. This is great. It was the greatest mass of all time.
Incredibly efficient. So, I mean, like I said, man, the Catholic Church is definitely like the Jiffy Lube or McDonald's.
Yep, they get it done.
Of Christianity for sure. So they get in, get out, and on your way.
I went to McDonald's today on the way to Pizza Ranch.
Had the fry fix or what?
I called Pizza Ranch. I'm like, okay, I ordered my chicken and stuff. And they're like, it'll be 15 minutes. I was like, oh, baby, I need some chicken nuggets now. I can't wait. I'm not going to wait for these damn kids to eat. I'm going to go eat the chicken nuggets now.
Oh, it's good quarantine food, right?
It really is.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. Oh, excuse me. My quarantine diet has been garbage. I don't know about you. Yeah.
Has it? Yeah.
I have been just craving protein constantly. I don't think I'm eating enough. Normally I would just eat more meat or whatever, but now I don't want to go out. And as I've said to the chat, I normally buy food for the night. Like every day. Like I'm going to go cook. So, okay, I'll go out. I'll buy a steak or a couple steaks or whatever. I'll buy some crappy food for the kids because they don't want steak. They don't appreciate it. They want mac and cheese.
Right.
Or whatever. So I'll buy steak for me and the missus. I'll buy some mac and cheese for the kids. And then I'll come home and make it.
Sure.
Well, I don't have that anymore, and I have a bunch of frozen steak, but I'm not cutting into my stash yet. Not cutting into my stash yet. But that means that most nights I'm not making like the good meal. So I'll just have, I'll make the kids a big box of mac and cheese. They're content. And then I'll eat the rest of that and then finish it off with some ramen, or I'll make, or I'll have some bowl of cereal or whatever. But then after my show, I am starving for meat. That's all I want. I want like meat sticks, sausage, protein, something. And I don't have enough of it. And that's really kicking my ass lately. I don't know about you. What are you eating?
I'm just trying to process. Nick craves the sausage after the show.
Look, what can I say? I'm staring at myself the whole time.
I you know what? I don't eat it after the show. I eat right before the show. And then I go to bed, man. Usually I'm a little excited after it, and I'm thinking, golly, I probably should have said this. I forgot to say this, forgot to mention that. So I end up watching some reruns of like The Office or something, and then fall asleep with that, wake up a couple hours later, turn it off. So nothing too fancy.
You're not just shoving food in your mouth after late at night?
No.
God, all I want to do is eat.
Yeah, no, I find that if I did a good job lubing myself up with the alcohol, eating only brings me down.
If I drink the liquor, I need to eat more. I'm worse off. I made 5:30 a.m. ramen 2 nights ago.
Oh man,
it was glorious.
Now you don't eat the shrimp flavor ramen though, right?
I don't eat Maruchan.
Okay. So you're all but the red bag.
I get the Nissin Reo ramen. It's the best. Although Walmart was out of it today, I had to get the Sapporo Ichiban, which is my second go-to ramen.
Okay, so the fancy stuff.
Yeah, this doesn't cost 33 cents a pack, fam. This is like $1.26.
Okay, ballin'. Okay, all right. So you're getting like the chicken with lime flavored,
that's still Maruchan. That's still 33 cents.
Oh man, see, I guess I don't know.
No, we use Japanese words like we use Corona-chan words like shoyu ramen. Beef, chicken. What's this? We got shoyu ramen, or you got tonkatsu ramen.
Man, I guess my parents should have moved to the poor neighborhood like yours over there.
Exactly.
And maybe we could have ate better. We
should do a struggle food stream.
I'm down. I'm trying to teach my kids, man. I had them eating syrup sandwiches the other day. Hey, during this situation, you guys are going to have one struggle meal a day. So
you got white bread and American cheese. That's right? All you get. Grilled cheese. We don't have the butter to grill that.
We don't have the butter for that. What you talking about, man? Get out of here. And I'm trying to find that good government cheese. I can't find anybody with the good government cheese anymore, man.
Because they sold that already and traded it for meth out here. The government cheese is meth fodder.
Like my brother was so good with the government cheese, man. He could cut that stuff and it was like a straight line and it was even the whole way down. Like me, yeah, man. He was good, man. Like me, I'd cut it and look like a bike ramp every single time. Like
you got the bike ramp, I got the shapely woman, right? Like, but just on one side, flat in the front. She got back,
man.
though.
Yeah, man. No,
she got back and booty.
Ba-boom. Yeah, man. What's a syrup sandwich? Oh, come on, man.
How do you do a syrup sandwich?
Man, it's just Wonder Bread or white bread with syrup on it with another piece of bread on top of it.
The reason I asked, my grandpa used to do this. My grandpa used to sit down with a whole loaf of white bread in his underwear and like a wife beater. This is a man who made 9 figures in his life. Okay, like this is a several hundred millionaire at the end of the day. He used to sit down in a wife beater and boxers or whatever, and he would sit with a loaf of white bread, like Wonder Bread probably, and he would mix in a bowl syrup and peanut butter. He just mix it up into like a paste, and he would just he'd take out a couple pieces of bread, he would dip it in there and just keep going, and he would eat the whole loaf.
The whole loaf of bread?
The whole loaf of bread and a bowl of peanut butter maple syrup mix.
Oh my God. So, okay, real important question. Mrs. Butterworth or log cabin?
I go with, I think it's Aunt Jemima. What are you talking about? Mrs. Butterworth. I certainly don't go log cabin. I've heard what those Republicans do in the dark. Aunt Jemima, man.
Aunt Jemima. All right.
You know, I'm from Texas. I gotta put her in the kitchen.
Hey, next time we get visitors, man, you gotta let me come over, man. I will do my very, very, very best Forrest Whitaker butler. Yeah,
it's never gonna happen again. The government's gonna have us on lockdown forever.
Well, we'll sneak down there, and I'll hang up my tux in the back. So
you better have those white gloves.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
No, sir.
No, sir.
You like the au jus, sir?
Yeah. I dance for you, sir.
I got some chats here. The opinionated one says, my family's business is at risk of permanent closure. It's closed now, even with the stimulus. If Governor Northam's executive order really goes to June, I'm risking going to my job, non-essential shipping, but work practically alone, and being sent home to help them survive. What do you do? Like, that's the thing everybody seems to be forgetting. At the end of the day, there's people there, and there are ways. There are ways. I know you think because they showed some fucking special with some dumbass kids hanging out on Miami Beach, banging all the chicks they can before lockdown. I know you think that means that no one else will self-quarantine, but most people can actually do things, and they can do their jobs, and they can social distance. They can make their workplaces safe. The government doesn't trust them.
Yeah.
That's where rights die, is when we say, oh, no, we need the government to help us. Guys, the government can't run a fucking DMV. They can't run a... You go to a DMV... In Minnesota, especially right now with the enhanced ID, you go to a DMV, you will wait an hour. You will sit in a lobby for an hour to watch one fat lady take your picture. I can get 10 fat ladies to take my picture in under an hour, and I won't even know them. It's ridiculous. And you're trusting Nick doesn't understand. You think they do? Have you ever seen the government successfully implement scientific method? Ever. They can't educate kids properly. They can't do distribution of pharmaceuticals. They can't do approval of pharmaceuticals in any proper manner. Cancer's still a thing. Like, cancer is still a thing, and it's because the government doesn't understand science. Fuck all that. You're talking to me about, I don't understand science. The government doesn't know shit. They're incompetent at every turn, and suddenly we believe that they're competent now? It's because you're scared.
Hey, and shout out to coronavirus. It looks like coronavirus might actually be curing global warming too. Climate change.
Thank God.
Yeah. They say things are looking a lot. I mean, after just 2 weeks, of people driving less, things are looking better already. Measurably different.
Just 2 weeks of just 2 weeks of a death rate that rivals Chicago's.
I mean, I could have signed on to that type of climate change. You know, just stay at home for 2 weeks. Government give me a fat $1,200 check to stay at home. That's vacation, fam. I can live with that.
That's amazing. Do you see this? the coronavirus has saved Bernie Sanders' campaign.
Oh, really?
I read the article today. Bernie Sanders was likely going to close up shop because you remember he went home to go assess his choices, right?
Yeah.
Now he's not. Now he's campaigning against coronavirus.
Oh, really?
Yeah, everything's still like his campaign is still running. He has not conceded to Biden yet.
I thought he was done.
We all thought he was done. Then Corona Chan comes in. Here's how Bernie can still win right now. Everybody, it's the most ridiculous nonsense on the planet. And again, you should stay home. You should stockpile food and whatever you need to survive for a month. I know the government told you 2 weeks. 2 weeks of toilet paper. They meant a month, though. They meant 2 months, maybe.
Well, there was an article that came out earlier today saying that it's the end of the month. You know, for those of us rich people who buy our own groceries, that we should allow the first part of the month for the people who are poor, that are shopping with food stamps and EBT, to get what they need first. And then we should go in afterwards, because we might be taking food away from poor kids who are at home because schools are shut down that really, really need it.
Have they ever seen the documentary Mad Max? I didn't see the EBT cards lining up for water and getting special treatment. No, but think about this. For all you who believe government is competent, remember that government 2 weeks ago was saying stock up for 2 weeks, and they just extended it to 6 weeks now.
Yeah.
And they're going to extend. Trump just put the recommended guidelines to April 30th. Those recommended guidelines are going to extend into June. And states are going farther than the feds. Minnesota, long before Trump said it to April 30th, had already said March or May 1st and May 4th or something like that. So now that Trump's extended it, guess what? Minnesota's going to extend it into June. They're going to. That very competent government that you believe has a grasp on the science of all this has been wrong every single time they've talked, and they're still wrong.
Yeah.
It's still wrong.
It's crazy, man. But like you said, if we bend on one, we'll bend on them all. And you know, I mean, I don't agree with the pastor having church. And it's funny because my wife and I were sitting down having a discussion, drinking coffee this morning. We were discussing that particular pastor. We were saying, what an idiot. I mean, you can have church, you know, people are doing church on, you know.
But what if he has church and 100, this is a mega church, so there's a lot of space here. 100 old people show up and they sit in their couples' pews 20 feet away from everybody else.
Yeah.
They're not getting coronavirus from that. They're not licking hands. They're not going up at communion. They can, like, I know it's hard to fucking accept, but shockingly, you could put on a church service that has people separated, that does keep people safe. And trust me, you think they clean the carts at Walmart when they bring them in? And they do. They wipe down every one of those handles when they bring them in right now. I guarantee you the janitor at that church will wipe down every single pew, and he'll do it with pleasure in his heart. It's crazy to think that just because the government says that people shouldn't get together, that everybody who does get together is going to do it wrong. This is crazy.
Yeah. No, I 100% agree. Like I said, I don't agree that he should have been. I don't agree that he should have had church. And he could have it, but if he was my pastor, I wouldn't go, right? But I don't agree with that. But I also believe that people have the right to assemble. I believe that people have freedom of religion. I believe that people have the right to go. And I'm not Muslim at all, but if I heard that a mosque was open, they have the right to assemble. They have the right to do that. But when they come for one of us, they come for us all, and we can't sit back and allow, you know, it comes down to, what are you willing to sell your rights for? What are you willing to sell your rights for? I mean, is it as long as I'm made to feel safe? Are you any safer? I mean, I haven't seen any data. I mean, are we any safer by not going to church?
I don't know.
Because I guarantee the same people that said they shouldn't be going to church were probably, a lot of them were in Walmart today, right? A lot of them had to run into the gas station today, or had to run into Quick Trip, or to come and go, whatever, right?
People already stay home from church when they're sick.
This is true.
Because you got old people at church, and people stay home when they're sick because they don't want to get an old person the flu or whatever and kill them like they normally would in any other year.
But there's still men with guns going and putting a pastor in handcuffs. What was his offense? Opening his church. Going to church. It is
literally a constitutional right that Congress shall pass no law respecting the establishment of religion, or everybody forgets the free exercise thereof. If you think the government can shut down church, and by the way, the churches should shut down. You think the government can shut down church, then you think the government can take your guns because the guns might have a virus on them. Well, I won't let my other people touch my gun. Oh, yeah. Just like you won't cough in church, just like you won't go in when you're sick, just won't go in if you've had contact with anybody from another state, just like every other excuse. Guys, it's the same fucking argument over and over. You cannot just say it doesn't apply to one thing, but it applies to the other. It's the same. Of course, you're not going to let anybody touch your gun right now. Of course not. Of course, you're not going to let anybody in your house right now who you think might have a chance of having coronavirus. But the government doesn't care what you're not going to do, because someone else might not do that. And that's the justification. That's the justification.
That's I couldn't have said it any better, man. Nick for president.
That's pissing me off. Again, I actually like how Trump is handling this. I like that Trump is not saying that the federal government is outlawing all this stuff. He's saying, here's our recommendations. Here's how you handle this, because that's how federalism works. But I don't like that states are doing it. I might be okay if cities are doing it, because you can fight the city in your own city. You can't fight the state in your own city very easily. It's a lot harder. Let the local governments deal with it. Do it. Put it to the local level. It's your municipal cops enforcing this stuff. Let you and your city council and your mayors make the decisions. Not at the state level, and certainly not at the federal level. That's why we have this system. I know we all forgot after the Civil War that this system existed, because we just expected the feds and beyond them the states themselves to take all of the reins of government. But guys, we're divided into districts, counties, cities, townships, factions. All of these different things. Oh. Yeah, factions. Yes, exactly. And that's okay. We can do this. You can do it at the local level. It's just like schools. It can be handled at the local level. Your neighbors and you are competent enough to figure this out. You are. If you don't like them, don't go outside. And then they can't get you sick. But what if I have to? Well, sorry, you may not have the right to soon. You think right now it's stopped because essential travel is grocery stores and banks. Oh, wait a month. We'll see if grocery stores are still open. I pray they are. But they shut those down. What are you going to do then?
Well, I mean, if you didn't put enough food away, then you don't have the right to leave, right? I mean, if the government has the right to tell you can't go to church, then they have the right to tell you. I mean, where do you draw that line? Where do you draw that line?
I don't know. They already told you. They told you didn't have a right to go to get a haircut or a massage or nails or or anything other than a grocery store, basically, or Target or GameStop, because GameStop's like, no, fuck y'all. By the way, GameStop, biggest defender of freedom in history, just because they're so close to bankruptcy and they're so insolvent that they literally can't afford to not have their employees handing out those pre-orders. But it's funny that necessity has forced bankruptcy to be the one government or one business that's like, no, damn, we are essential. We sell shit that people can use to do the social distancing properly. We sell webcams, we sell microphones, we sell all the stuff you need. We are essential. And the government says no, but GameStop says yes. I know it seems ridiculous, but what does the government get to pick the winner? We weren't okay with it.
When have you ever seen more than 4 people in a GameStop anyway? You can social distance in GameStop easy.
To be fair, 4 people in a GameStop, usually one of those 4 people is the employee, and he makes up enough for 5 of them. But we weren't okay with government picking winners just a couple years ago. Now we're saying the government picks winners.
Yeah.
It's
100.
It's crazy. This virus is different than all the others. How do we fucking know that?
Yeah.
China lied about the numbers. So how do you know? I mean, I think they probably did. Yeah. Italy's the only real one. Wait, every other country's lying, but the worst one?
Sorry.
Look, rights are your guarantee to do the wrong thing. They are. That's the nature of a right. You have the right to do the wrong thing. You have a right to be the guy that everybody else hates.
That's why they're called rights.
Yeah.
That's why they're called rights. I believe they're God-given personally, but
yeah, I do too. But whatever.
That's a whole nother argument, a whole nother day. But hey, man, it's been real.
Oh, you gotta go.
I'm gonna have to take off here.
Can you stick with me for the 20s? There's like 6 of them.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Okay. Andrew Shuggett says, I have actual paperwork that my job gave me from the state that allows me to travel because I am essential. In Russian voice, papers, please. Papers, please. Look, you must have papers on you all time. Okay? It's easy. Just carry papers. What's the problem? Remember, we don't require illegal aliens to carry papers, but you better.
Yeah.
You want to go outside during Corona, you better carry papers.
Yeah. It's golly, man. The world is forever changed.
Yeah,
it really is.
Andrew Bin says, help my mom buy groceries yesterday. Fatso behind deli counter yelled at me about social distancing from my own mom. By the way, Q looks like he gives the best hugs. Might be the whiskey talking. Do you give good hugs, Q?
I haven't had any complaints.
That's the spirit. I like the Spike Man says, Nick, it sucks, but Brainerd, Walker, Hackensack will get hit. Wuhan is getting reinfected. Cats and dogs are possible hosts. Also living together. Virus is mutating. Medicare might have blackpilled me, but honestly glad I'm in a rural state. God bless you, city figs. I mean, I don't know. It's not about how bad the virus is. I know this sounds weird. The virus may be worse than everyone is talking. Yeah. And the rights still matter. It's not that they're taking away your rights after careful consideration, thought, and deliberation. They just took them. And we're all like, yeah, that's fine. No, it's not fine, because they will take them the next time when it isn't as bad. That's the scary thing. Shibuki is here in Ohio. The stay-at-home thing is now 30 days. Oh, same in Minnesota. We're actually over 30 days. Great. Fluffy Tet says, quick question. I walked off a job 2 years ago for screwing me on pay. USA Department of Labor just sent me a letter. They underpaid me $400 for overtime. They won't pursue it, but I'm able to sue for wages and legal costs. They're out of state. Should I? Not right now, fam. You won't get a case in court unless you're trying to abort a baby. That's another thing. Imagine right now, all courts shutting down. If anybody goes, you don't get a hearing. Anybody at all just said, I don't want to go in today. Sorry, court admin, I need to reschedule the hearing. Oh, stay away. Everybody. Nobody can get a court hearing. You want to have an abortion, though. You're in there. Yeah.
Yay.
When this blows over in 26 months, the statute of limitations, you know, those laws that say hard and fast because all of the evidence will literally be impossible to attain after X date. So we no longer allow you to pursue a cause of action. All those are stayed. It's all pretend. Everything is pretend. Yeah, exactly. Everything you know about the legal system, it's all bullshit pretend. All of it. Oh, we got to get people out of the jails in 48 hours if they're not charged. Oh, no, not anymore. Not anymore. You can just lock them up for weeks. Fine. Everything you know, but it's science, right?
Totes cool, man.
Should you pursue it? Look, you got to talk to an attorney in that jurisdiction. It could be a federal case. It might be a state case. Talk to an attorney in that jurisdiction. Ask them if they'll take it pro bono. That's the cool thing about employment cases is a lot of times the states have built-in sanctions and fees for the employer to allow you to let them pay your attorney because you probably can't if you just lost your job. Tucker says, what do you think of mandatory rent freezes that some governments are imposing? Terrible. Terrible. Despite what people think, most landlords are not massive real estate fat cats. Lots of people stand to lose a lot of money in property. Your mortgage isn't getting on hold. Your commercial mortgage isn't getting on hold. Your utilities aren't on hold. Maintenance costs aren't on hold. Tell you what, your tenant has a broken washing machine. You think you're exempted from coming over and fixing it because of Corona? Think again, buddy. No, it's terrible. The government is interfering with the right of contract. By the way, an inherent and sacred right. The right to contract with someone else. Government's stepping in.
Although I will say, bright side to Corona, I was supposed to have jury duty this week. So what's up?
You drew the shortest straw possible.
Hey, I'll take it. I'll take it.
Well, buddy, I'll let you buzz off. I got a bunch of super chats to read, but those are the 20s, and I got a whole bunch, but I know you got to get going. So
hey, always a pleasure, my friend. Always a pleasure. Thank you guys for being here and listening to me and a friend banter back and forth. It's a lot of fun. Always a pleasure, man.
Yeah, make sure you guys check out Q's channel, Out of the Darkness. The link is in the description. Subscribe to him. You know, this guy does great live stream interviews with some weird ass folk.
We do.
You have polygamy streams with an actual polygamist, and then you had a follow-up stream with the polygamous concubine that's striving to get that wife status. They're just striving to wife it up.
She's trying to get on the top.
You think he cut her off for Corona? Like, look, girl, you got to stay back.
And she's in Washington too, so oof. They won't be seeing each other for a while.
He's got arguments with a sitting Minnesota congressman about the legalization of marijuana and prostitution and all sorts of things. Go check out his channel. Fantastic content, great conversations, especially if you like the long form. And I know you guys have been sitting here for a couple hours. You definitely are down with it. Give it a listen. You find some good stuff, and go check him out on the live stream. So.
Well, thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. You guys have a great night, and definitely stay safe. Everybody stay safe, and we will talk to you guys next time.
Catch you later, buddy. I'll talk to you then. Peace.
Bye now.
All righty. We are headphones off for the rest of the evening. Thank God. My ears were getting a little too unsocial distance from the drivers in my headphones. Now we've got that Corona safe going on. And I hope you guys know I love all of you. And I know you think that I'm an idiot because I have a law degree and no other degrees to shake a stick at. But my law degree is what matters here because I'm talking about your rights. And again, I'm not saying you shouldn't social distance. I'm not saying you shouldn't go to, or you should go to church. I'm not saying you should go to the grocery store. I'm not saying you should take that trip you've always been wanting to take. I'm saying you should do all of the things the government recommends. But the government's job is to recommend, not get guns out and enforce it. That's the scary part. And by the way, the end of the discussion of every law or government proclamation is a bullet right in your dick. They will shoot you in the penis if you don't comply. Think down this a bit. Okay, we're gonna do the super chats, and I will be on Twitch tonight. Some more Doom Eternal, I believe. I will believe. So anyway. Why the dick though? I don't know. Ask the guy with the gun. Don't ask me. Here we go. S Cyber Taz says Tardy and Dark Ninja. Oh my goodness, how dare you. One says I've been working through the LOL Suit playlist while stuck at home the past couple of weeks. Any recommendations of your pre-2019 videos / series to go through next? Thanks for keeping me sane as the country locks down. Yes. Russell Greer. Russell Greer. There's 10 or 11 or 12 videos about Russell Greer. Most of them are me and Sriracha. We've got another one coming up. Most of them are me and Sriracha. We're going through Russell Greer's book, Why I Sued Taylor Swift. It is a nonstop riot. Definitely check it out. It's great stuff. Angry Baneling says late. Satanic Potato says Nick was late because he was at Ram Ranch. Like, don't criticize me. Chenghis Khan says about 10 minutes late. Nick and Discount Drexel. Oh, damn. Or Q. In Lemoyne's voice say, Rekieta Law has got it going on. He's all I want, and I've waited for so long. West Nile Chan, can't you see? You're just not the girl for me. I know it might be wrong, but I'm in love with Rekieta Law. I would go with, man, I love Rekieta Law. That's how I would have ended it. But great choice there. Where Tiger Ray says Joe Exotic recently filed a lawsuit against a bunch of people and U.S. Fish and Wildlife Services for $78 billion and requesting a pardon from Trump. He's filing pro se. Care to go over it on stream? Oh, yeah. That sounds fantastic. Kay says, I'm officially sick due to the coronavirus. No, Kay, no. I haven't gotten it. But due to the shortages of food at Walmart, I bought a box of frozen clam strips and got food poisoning. I cucked Corona-chan. K. Oh, man. I hope you make it. Night of Hope X says, I bought a doll from Phil because I don't like dating. See? Because I don't like dating and I wanted some affection. I'm very cuddly. Unfortunately, I got a hefty model and it's hard to move. It's also inhumanly cold and there's no way to warm it up safely. It's in my closet 3 years now. You need that warmer function. They have a warmer on those? They should. Kay says, Corona isn't going to be beaten. Even if we beat it here, it's not like we can't immediately get another case zero from across the southern border. We're effed now, and we're effed in November if Biden wins. The Coke Master says, you should convert to Islam, Nick. Our version of Mass only lasts 30 minutes with the actual prayers lasting 5 minutes. Dang. Night of Hope X says, I've been eating a Red Baron pizza on Sunday and a pan-fried hamburger or hot dog, a Kraft single, slice of bread, stick of string cheese, and a protein bar the other 6 days. Multivitamins daily. I've lost around 30-ish pounds since the lockdown started a month ago. Hey, good luck. Good job, buddy. Reduce that caloric intake and you'll make it. Kay says, best thing about living alone, I bought toilet paper like 6 months ago and it's going to last me for another 6. Joke's on you, assholes. Literally. Dave Youngson says, they aren't stopping your practicing your religion. They're just telling you to not do it in that building. It's just a time, place, and manner restriction. Nope. Nope, you don't get to do that. That has not ever been tested as a time, place, and manner restriction on religion that I'm aware of. Maybe it has. Maybe it has. As Cybertest says, oh wait, no, I read that one. Dang it. Romeo Garbo says, hasn't hit me at home yet, like Pearl Harbor. Oh no, no. Some nobody says, I'm totally unscathed. Eat it. /you. The Geek Conservative, welcome to paralegal status. Thank you for joining the channel. Legend of Blue says, played 5 edition yesterday. Got a curse weapon that turned me into a golem. Rip my +11 bow. Oh man, that sucks. Dave94 says, Nick, I made a game on AR about Corona-chan. You defeat it by using paper and soap. At the moment, it's only on iOS. Search it by the name Clean Hero AR. There you go. Some nobody says, New York mostly fake. NY mostly fake. Won't fit in with real black people. Genghis Khan says, don't you just love it when people willingly let daddy government diddle their rights away from behind just as they can survive this stupid virus? Guys, the reality is basically all of you will survive anyway, even if the government did nothing. And the weird thing is, so would your parents and your grandparents, statistically. Which is weird. It's weird to think that, but they would. They would. And they may already have. That's the other weird thing. We don't even know. Most of the cases of infection, we literally don't know that they occurred and were already recovered from. Crazy. Matthew Ford says, Low T hates black. No wonder I'm banned on Twitter. Rip Dove Studio says, Sic Semper Tyrannis. Absolutely, buddy. Some nobody says, dude, KFC regularly runs out of chicken. They suck. Matthew Ford says, we don't claim Low T Greg in NC in North Carolina. Good. Don't. That guy sucks. Tamara Holloway says, did his girlfriend argue a drop of South African blood makes him black? Lol. Even Hitler rejected the 1 drop rule. By the way, was that Rachel Dolezal with him at the HBCU? Tamara Holloway says, are they violating USC Title 18, Section 242, depriving rights under color of law? Yes. What can we do? How can you be criminally charged but not break a law? Good question. You bring what's called a 1983 claim, and we hope that the courts eventually sort this out so that they can't do it the wrong way next time. Judex Morano says, I'm a Methodist. I thought Catholics were weird. They are. They are. So are you. Jason of the Great Awakening. Wait, sorry. James B says Bloodshot is actually a damn good movie. Enough to send $5 to recommend it. It doesn't shy away from killing and genuinely fun. Feels original. Oh, really? It looked kind of weird, but I'm not opposed to some Vin Diesel murder. Super Iron Bob says, watch post this quarantine. They'll start proposing doing stay-at-home orders every couple of weeks to save the earth. Guys, if the quarantine is big enough for a stay-at-home order, is global warming? Don't drive. You laugh. You laugh. Wait till it happens. No one important says, but it takes 10 nicks to take 1 photo of a fat lady. Look, that's just because I need to combine all the megapixels to make that camera happen. Jason of the Great Awakening says, they aren't laughing at me starting a veggie garden and learning to make bread, cheese, and beer anymore. Bread, cheese, and beer anymore. Nope, they're not. Sigurd Helixson Crypt Keeper says, you should try and get on Robert Barnes to talk Corona. I like Barnes. I know that whoever, Tim Lim or whatever, was pissed off at Barnes. I like Barnes. I would love to have him on. I emailed him a while ago. I'll send him another message. I'd love to talk to Barnes. Rage DMX 47 says, quick shout out to Christina Applegate. What did she do? Andrew War Snowboard says, what's even the point of designating essential or non-essential if we are all supposed to stay away from each other anyway? Maybe I'm just bitter. Oh, damn it, guys. I forgot. I meant to bring this out during the Q stream. I don't recall. I do not recall. Listen here. Listen, you bitch. You better pick up the fucking phone. I will cut up your dog. I will slap the shit out of you. You think you can tell me what to do? Pick up the phone. Answer the phone. You better pick me up in that Toyota I bought you. You better pick me up in that Toyota. Sorry, that's a big thank you to my man Jared. I think it was from Jared. It didn't have a letter in it. It didn't have a letter in it, but that's gonna hang around for a while. Oh, I showed that to my daughter and she's like, what is daddy doing? She's 2. Andrew War Snowbird says, what's even the point of designating essential or non-essential if we're all supposed to stay away from each other anyway? Maybe I'm just bitter. You are. Phoenix Lord Asterman says, I agree with you on most things, but I hope our church doesn't close. With mass postponed, we've been gathering food and medical supplies for older and poorer members. Losing the church would hurt our community. I know. It's crazy. And it's so dumb, I know, to suggest that churches have to make those decisions on their own. And have a right to. It's not just... It's written down. It's written down. The founders didn't care about a lot of shit. But they really, really fucking cared about church. And if you don't like it, fine. Change the Constitution first. Like everything else. Next. Andrew War Snowboard says, long live Syl Blinton. Yes, if you guys didn't see, I did play some D&D with Bibble and Ethan Ralph and Flamenco and Kaz the other day on Bibble's channel. You can find the link to the show on my YouTube community page. And Syl Blinton, look, he's a warlock of the Undying. And he is a pledge to the Archlich, Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Keep him pumping, keep him alive, sold his soul a little bit. And you can find him. He enslaves gnolls. Or no, not gnolls. Kobolds. We have a house kobold named Toby. It's great. It was a good time. Fun D&D stream. If you like D&D. If you don't like it, don't watch it. But it was fun times. Harper Leo says, just broke up with my boyfriend that was Lemoyne's assistant. Finally. That can't be true. But email me, Harper. Please, for the love of God, email me. If that's true, you and I need to have a chat. That'd be great. Drexel, Lord of Simpson Cuck, says, midgets love the BBC. I don't know. Sigma Zero says, Nick can't join Islam. Not only would he have to quit alcohol, he'd get thrown off a roof for always being tardy and homosexual. Yeah, that's true. That's true. And Chengiz Khan finally says, make the Ron's mask mouth move South Park style. We'll see. We'll see. All right, guys. Look, I love you all for hanging out with me tonight, putting up with my bullshit and my bad science knowledge. You don't come here for scientific knowledge. You come here for shitty arguments about why we get to keep our rights. And the whole point of those is just to make you consider what happens. You don't see me in court suing the government. You just see me here bitching on YouTube, right? Just out here making you think about what we give up to get daddy government to put the sacred ointment on before he goes deep. With that in mind, I have recorded the review of the Horus Rising book. I will be uploading it tonight. It will remain unlisted until I get the thumbnail from my art guy, and then it will go live on the channel. So keep an eye out for it. I will list it on the community page. I will tweet about it on Twitter. It will be unlisted. You can watch it. You'll watch it from the direct link to that as soon as there is an actual thumbnail. I will make it public. Feel free to share it and all of that stuff. It's only going to be unlisted for a little bit while I don't have a thumbnail because I want it to look professional, but it is the first review. Give me all the feedback in the world. Tell me what you liked about it. Tell me what you didn't like about it. I recorded it a couple times. I'm pretty happy with this one. I tried to get the audio to be less echoey. Hopefully next time I can get even less echo in there, although I did a pretty good job. I did a pretty good job from the initial start. I did a lot of audio testing based on what I had. We're gonna get some stuff to make the audio even a little better quality, but I think it's pretty good. So let me know what you like and don't like about it. I hope you like the format, but it is different from this channel, vastly different. But I'm hoping it's something you guys enjoy. All right, guys. I will be on Twitch in 10, 15 minutes or so. I'm gonna go make some food, some struggle food. Is it better than Coach Red Pill's book? Yes, absolutely. So, all right, guys, thanks for hanging out with me tonight. I appreciate you listening to me bitch about rights, even in a time when the rights are uncomfortable, even in a time when it would be better. It would be better if an authoritarian government came in and told us all what to do. It would be a better thing. We would have less people die. We would have less chance of infection. It would be great if Stalin came in and shut the church's doors and nationalized the pharmaceuticals and nationalized all of the car companies and fixed and had companies making a requisite amount of ventilators. It would be better handled under tyranny. Lots of things are better handled under tyranny. But we don't fucking have tyranny. We have rights, God damn it, and they matter. They matter for the next time. And some poor piece of shit has to defend the guy who shoots someone. Some poor piece of shit has to defend the guy who gives someone else AIDS. Some poor piece of shit has to defend the guy who's out dropping N-words all over the place, even though we don't like it. And unfortunately for y'all, it's just me, and I'm just a guy here saying, hey, these rights actually do fucking matter, and they don't stop just because of... They don't stop then. They shouldn't stop ever. So that's it. That's all I got to say. Let's hit that outro for you guys. Look, y'all. Hope you had a good time tonight. Even if you disagree with me, I hope you at least enjoy the shit talking going on and all the fun stuff. I will see you tomorrow. We will have another show. I don't even know what is up next for tomorrow. I don't know what's up for tomorrow, but I'll bring you a good show one way or another. Hope you guys have a good night. Peace. Peace.
Become redder as he becomes meta, raging at idiots from Twitter and Erlang. From the white shores of Maine to the hills of Glenlivet, there's no one who explains the law better than Nick. So pour out a glass for the ones who have passed to make the law what we have now. Oh, his lady is fair, and she handles herself.
Oh, yeah, that's some good whiskey,
One who has borne many children. As the wife of a lawman, she makes sure that he has the time and the place to provide for them there.
Gotta go eat a raw steak. Oh, yeah. Come, it's got nothing on that raw meat.
From the white shores of Nan to the hills of Glenlivet, there's no one who explains the law better than Nick. So pour out a glass for the ones who have passed to make the law what we are now. Oh, the guests are all plentiful, from Dante to Drexel. They bring their perspective and spice to the mix. But the reason we're here and the one that we cheer is the one who is showcasing us his career. Get unemployed, so pour out a glass for the tea. Post on Twitter as we hear Lost Painting tonight. From the white shores of Nan to the hills of Glenlivet,